House has approved $1.5 trillion in government spending. It's a stopgap bill to keep the government running through the end of the year. It does include almost $14 billion in aid for Ukraine. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody. Yeah.
Second to the last day of the week. Last full week before the time change.
Calm before the storm.
Calm before the freak storm. The last winter's last hurrah.
I don't think we're going to get it like other people are going to get it.
It's so funny, though, to hear people like just, it's going to be in the 30s and snowing on Friday. I'm like, y'all do remember it was like 18 like 2 weeks ago, right? We're going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, but other parts of the state, they're getting inches.
All right.
We may get...
It's a weird flex, but all right.
We may get an inch.
It's not necessarily
tomorrow.
about the size of the storm, Mike. It's about the impact on the roads.
Well, let's just say it'll impact other roads more than our roads.
Yeah, just stay local.
I think like some of the mountainous areas, they're talking like 8-10 inches in some spots. And yeah.
People within the sound of our broadcast, stay where you're at, because gas is already as much as it is. You're not going to want to drive anywhere anyways. Plus the roads suck. So yeah, just stay in. Call it a good Netflix weekend.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on that Amazon Prime. Really stepping their game up now.
Yeah. Netflix was advertising something yesterday that I can't remember anything about right now, but I remember seeing the advertisement and go, I want to see that. I just don't remember what it is now. Oh, well.
A lot of good documentaries out right now, too.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah, but yeah, we're going to get some a little colder weather here. But the funny part is Saturday, it's going to be like 63.
I know. Just
and like 70s on Sundays. So.
Quick snap and quick back. Because, yeah, we were talking about the snow, and like almost in the same breath, I asked Rhiannon if she wanted to go swimming this weekend.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of this weekend. What do you want to do? I'm going to go skiing and then swim after that.
Hop down to the pool, sunbathe a little bit.
Welcome to New Mexico.
That's right.
So happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're all having a good one. I do have a full slate for you for today's show. Let me give you the rundown right quick. This hour here in just a little bit, Jet Black's going to be joining us from the Liberty. They got a plethora of shows coming up. A
cacophony?
A cornucopia, if you will.
Dang. There's some good stuff coming up at the Liberty.
Yeah, they got concerts this weekend. St. Patty's Day, they got stuff going on. They got the Whalers coming up on the 20th, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, they got all kinds of shows coming
Wade
up.
Bowen's coming up tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tracy Bird on Sunday.
Yeah. So
they're packing it out.
They are. So Jet's going to join us, give us a rundown of all the shows coming up there at the Liberty, and of course, invite you to become a member too.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, tonight is City Council. We're going to have Jason Perry, City Councilor for Ward 2. Since he didn't have an election, he just won or lost or anything going on. He's going to join us and preview tonight's City Council meeting, and then of course, Next time we'll have the new mayor join us and all that good stuff. But Jason Perry will fill us in tonight, and then he'll be in tomorrow morning.
That was my next question. Is he going to come in and
give
do
us
the rundown?
the recap there and all that too. So that's going to happen about 8:15 this morning, and then in the 9 o'clock hour we get to eat.
Oh yeah.
I hear breakfast burritos are coming.
Okay.
But,
see, I'd heard a rumor like a week ago.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: you don't tell DJs that they've got food coming in a week. That's messed up.
Yeah.
That is messed up.
Well, Chef Anthony Noble from Valley Cafe is going to be joining us here, and I hear tell he's going to bring some burritos for us, some breakfast burritos. So,
all right.
So we'll go talk about that and eat food and invite you to come check out his delicious
The all
food.
new Valley Cafe.
I still want to try that cordon bleu soup.
Dude, every single part of their menu sounds like I am dying to find out what the Smotherman burger's about.
Yeah,
I just want I want my burger Smotherman.
And I just haven't gone down to that end of town yet.
Well, yeah, I spent my time growing up in the Waffle House region of the country. So anybody who's ever eaten a Waffle House knows you can get your breakfast platter, your burger, whatever you're getting, in a variety of different ways. You can get it scattered, which I think is scattered with hash browns. Smothered, which is smothered in like cheese or chili. I think chili. Covered is something else. Topped, whipped. You can get all these different like ways. So mine was scattered, smothered, and covered, and then topped and whipped. I can't remember exactly all that was. Yeah, that's how I got my burger.
That's a burger?
That was a burger. Yeah.
I thought we were still talking about breakfast.
No, I won't tell you what happened at the end of that story because this was me. I want to say like in 5th grade. We'd gone to Oklahoma for a visit, me and my sister. Weirdly, my parents put us on a Greyhound bus and sent us to Oklahoma.
Wow.
Me and my sister, who was 6 years older than me, so she would have been like high school.
Okay.
Yeah, just threw us on a bus and just across part of the country.
That's the 80s. My brother and I got
This was
thrown
the
on
90s, not the 80s. This was like, it was like, we'll call it 95,
okay.
96.
Well, late 80s, my parents threw me on an airplane, did that. To my grandparents'
It
house
seems like you could pull that off before like, we'll call it before 9/11.
Yeah.
That was like the
I don't know,
red
did
line
they
in
put a
the
little
sand.
tag on you or anything? Or?
No, it was just my sister was responsible for getting the
Your
young...
sister was a high school age, so maybe she was more responsible.
And she was very responsible for her age. I'll give her that.
So.
But yeah, no, we went to Waffle House, and I went and we were staying at my aunt's house, so we went there. I were in the back of the pickup truck after dinner that night, which was a nice rumbly trip back after I ate what I ate, and I proceeded to paint her living room door because I was sleeping on the couch. I proceeded to paint her living room door about
smothered,
midnight.
covered, and
I scattered, smothered, covered, topped, and whipped that door. So I'm going to assume that the Smotherman burger is way better than any of that. Was my original point.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, I remember. See, I didn't have a lot of Waffle House experiences growing up because there wasn't a lot of those in my area.
If you didn't have a fight or food poisoning from a Waffle House, you really don't remember.
I mean,
it.
I have
You
my
don't talk
share
about
of
it.
other comparisons, but I've had Waffle House as I've traveled, and the one thing that always got me about Waffle House was like their whole menu is just pictures.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want that picture.
Yep.
You know, and that's
Yep. And they made that joke on Family Guy. Can we go someplace where the menus have pictures of the food?
it's like everything was a picture, and I'm like,
that's the best part.
Like,
and everything is wet. If you go to a Waffle House, everything is always wet. It's because I'm assuming when they have like a quick lull in customers, they just spray everything down.
hose it down.
Yeah, including like, Bill over in the corner who's just always there.
It's like Rambo when they cleaned him up in the first Rambo when they brought him in with the hose.
Spray him down and take him out.
Throw the powder on him. And
Take him to the edge of town.
Next. Oh man, yeah, I think.
But
it's
yes,
way
visit the
better
Valley Cafe. Their menu sounds fantastic, and some of their menu items have pictures.
See, back when growing up, more of what I hit were mom and pop diner style places that were like Waffle House, and then your Denny's were.
Which we had, we had like the Grill Medill. There was the Sportsman. There was a couple of those places that we would always go to. Jimmy's Egg was a big one too.
Yeah.
Back in Oklahoma.
We had a place called Rips that we go hit. And then there was this, I can't remember, diner that was like up the street that I don't even remember the name of it, but it was a dive. It was tasty food.
Well, this is,
but it looked like a war torn, it was just beat up.
Here's how you know you got yourself a good diner if they've got a good garbage breakfast.
Yeah.
Like it was literally it was called the garbage breakfast, and it was just everything off the breakfast menu just kind of dumped onto a plate and just chopped up.
There you go.
Yep, it was fantastic. Everything tastes better with a bottle of hot sauce all covering it.
Everything tastes better when it's everything on one plate.
That's right.
All right, it is 7:14. Weirdly enough, not hungry after that conversation.
Wait till next year. I'm going to tell you about my ill-gotten sandwich.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ill-gotten sandwich?
And the resulting feline intestinal distress.
Uh-oh.
How's that for a teaser?
You didn't eat the scrimp, did you?
No one messes with that scrimp.
I thought maybe you got into the scrimp.
That's God's scrimp.
All right, 7:15, here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today, but we've got some snow on the way by Friday and Friday night with a low-pressure system drifting in from the northern Rockies. Looks like mid-60s to around 70 and sunny today, a little bit gusty. Windy for the overnight hours and turning cold. Will be in the upper 20s, and then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow, tapering off in the afternoon and about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 28 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58%. Winds currently out of the north at 12 miles per hour. Yeah, it's going to get weird, the weather, the next couple days here. During the day today, sunny, nice, mid-60s for a high today, 66. Winds are going to be breezy, though. We're talking 10 to 20 miles per hour. North this morning, shifting to the south later today. And then tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance of some snow showers late, like after midnight. We're going to see some increasing clouds. Chilly, overnight low at 25. Winds will be out of the southwest, 15 to 20. However, could see some wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. And then when you wake up in the morning, odds are pretty good you're going to be seeing it snowing. We are looking at a 60% chance of snow Friday during the AM hours, mainly before 11. Cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing. We'll get to maybe 41 for a high tomorrow. Winds will remain breezy out of the north, 10 to 20. They're saying we can get less than an inch is what they're expecting for us here in Roswell tomorrow. By Friday night, it's going to be another chilly night overnight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 18 and east winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then we warm back up for the weekend. Sunny skies, a high of 63 for Saturday. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny skies, highs back in the low 70s, 73 for a high. And we'll carry that into Monday as well. Sunny skies, highs right around 70. So I know, a little bit of weird here for the next 24 to 36 hours, and then back to spring-like temperatures when you spring forward with your clocks this weekend. Don't forget to do that, too. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then Jet Black with the Liberty going to join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Celebrate spring break at the Spring River Zoo with one of their exciting day camps. Each day is a separate camp where children will enjoy animal-themed crafts and games, fun educational activities, a guided tour of the zoo, and amazing encounters with the animals for children aged 4 through 6. Events will take place March 14th and 15th from 8 a.m. till noon. For children aged 7 to 12, themed camps will take place March 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call the Spring River Zoo at 575-624-6750 or visit roswellconnect.org for information and to reserve your ticket.
The Valley Cafe is now open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Located inside the 180 Youth Building across from Church on the Move on Brasher in Roswell. Enjoy soups, salads, sandwiches, burgers, and more. Try one of their signature creations like the Sweet and Spicy Burger with honey jalapeno bacon barbecue sauce, the chicken cordon bleu soup, Chef Anthony Noble's fried avocados, and the Smotherman Burger with creamy green chili sauce. Or swing by for coffee or breakfast burritos on your way to work. The all-new Valley Cafe, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 3. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or even a snack after school. Don't feel like leaving home? Order takeout from DoorDash.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores, and that's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and save up to $100 instantly on select in-stock sets of Cooper, Nitto, and Pirelli brand tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra, required on all 4 tires. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Not valid with other offers. Valid at participating locations. Expires 3/27/2022.
This time of year, we all like to have fun talking about four-leaf clovers, rabbit's feet, and the luck of the Irish. But when it comes to finding a nice pre-owned vehicle you can really count on, you need more than just luck. You need a dealer like Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico. Great-looking late-model pickups, SUVs, sports cars, and family sedans. But more important than how they look is how they run, so Roswell Ford puts everyone through a rigorous 139-point inspection. On top of that, Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee, so if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. That's a lot more than luck. That's true peace of mind. And if you really have a nice car or truck you'd like to sell, please bring it by. We'll look it over and make you an offer on the spot. So when you're ready to move up to a newer vehicle, don't take chances. Come see your friends at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, at the corner of 9th and Main, and leave your rabbit's foot at home.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Liberty, Jet Black with us. Morning, Jet.
Buenos dias.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Yeah, glad to have you come back and join us. And great news is if folks are looking for some great entertainment over the next couple of weeks here, Liberty's more than got you covered. I mean, there's
no kidding, man.
There's concerts. I mean, this weekend we got a pair of great ones, and then right on the heels of that, we got more concerts right after that too. So, if you're thinking, there's nothing to do here, that's on you. That's if you know what I mean.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, it's going to be a big year for concerts in Roswell, man. I mean, we got some great stuff coming up at the Liberty. Got some great stuff coming up at Pecos Flavors Winery.
Yeah.
Some good acoustic acts there. And, of course, this summer's UFO Fest is going to be popping as well.
Yeah.
And helping bring in some of the talent for that as well this year. So
good deal.
It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be an awesome year. This weekend's going to be rad, though. We got Wade Bowen.
Yeah, Wade Bowen's going to be here in town at the Liberty tomorrow night, 6 p.m. And what else you got going on Friday night here in Roswell, New Mexico? It's going to be a great show here. No football. No, it's not First Friday. Tomorrow night, the place to be is the Liberties.
Yeah, it's concert season, man.
Yeah.
Gotta get out the boots, get ready to go dancing.
Yeah, and really, with really some of the artists that's coming through, with Wade Bowen, we got Tracy Bird on the heels of that. The Wailers coming. A lot of this is, in that country. Is this some of this red dirt too? And this is where I'm not that familiar with some of the country artists and things like that. Does some of this fall under the red dirt category?
There is
more.
Yeah, of course. Josh has done a fantastic job of establishing the Liberty as a staple route for a lot of the red dirt scene.
Mm-hmm.
So Wade Bowen is a prime example of that. But we have a lot of national country acts that are going to be
Tracy
coming
Bird
through.
would definitely be one of those you're talking about.
We do the Nashville stuff too, and of course doing more and more rock and roll and Spanish shows and hip hop shows this year and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I mean, the red dirt scene is very vibrant in this neck of the woods,
mm-hmm.
and we're going to have a lot of great acts this year as well. So
I'm kind of curious when you guys have concerts out at the Liberty or Pecos Flavors or
mm-hmm.
do you kind of see different crowds based on the act that night, or do you really see the same people going, whether it's a country show or a rock and roll show? I mean, I'm just curious.
There's definitely a nucleus of music fans,
right? And they come whatevers,
yeah. They just come, I'm one of those guys that it's like live music. I don't really care what it is.
Sure.
I'm there, If I'm not playing live somewhere, then I'm
watching.
out seeing somebody, I mean, that's just the way it is. It doesn't really matter what kind of music. And I think Roswell has always been good about that.
There is a strong music scene here.
There is, but you definitely get your different crowds. Like the Wailers is going to be an all ages crowd, and that's a super dynamic act.
Oh,
It's going to bring a variety of people from all over the region, and it's definitely not going to be probably a lot of people that are going to be at the Tracy Bird show. But then again, there's going to be a few music fans that are just out to see live music.
That's by the way, keep listening over the next week or two. We'll be giving away some Whalers tickets.
Heck yeah.
Over the course of time. So be listening for that. But you're right about live music, and I've kind of learned that or appreciated that more as I've gotten older, where as a kid, and I'm pretty narrow in my music. I like Metallica, and that's I like Metallica. You know what I mean? I'm one of those kind of people.
Right on, man.
But I appreciate a lot, like when you go to a concert, and I don't care, like the Flying J Wranglers. Have you ever seen them up in Alto?
Oh yeah.
I'm like I'm not a country western or bluegrass. You know what I mean?
That's a quality show, though.
That's what I'm saying. You go there, and I'm like, man, they're talented musicians. Man, I can appreciate the skill set and the. And to be honest, you even if you're not into that style of music, you're still tapping your toe, and you're like, wow. I mean, I guess more when I watch it, I'm like, I can just appreciate the ability of the artist up there playing their instruments, doing their thing, and I'm like, I don't care if it's gospel or rock and roll or country or avant-garde. I can appreciate when someone's doing it well. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about all these shows we're talking about here. It's like, okay, maybe I'm not into Red Dirt personally, but you know what? When they come in, you're like, holy cow, they can make a room just move to the beat of their drum, literally. You know what I mean?
No, that's it, man. That's it. It's all about that human connection, and seeing somebody wear their heart on their sleeve on stage and look you in the eyes with the watching music on YouTube and listening with headphones is all well and great, but like you said, when that bass drum and that sub is thumping in your chest and there's somebody to your left and your right that is enthusiastic and excited, and in the same moment you are, it's something totally different.
You get caught up in it.
That's it. Yeah. That's it, man.
And that's the beauty of it. And that's what happens every weekend at the Liberty. It really kind of does.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's a special spot, man. I'm honored to be able to be a part of the team there for sure.
So I got to ask you, Jack, because like you said, you're a musician and you also you kind of do all things music. I'm curious, as a musician, is it hard not to want to leap on stage when you get into the, you know what I mean? Like if you're getting into a concert and you're like digging the vibe and just kind of, and because I'm not a musician, so I don't have this urge, but as a musician, you kind of like, dude, I just want to run up on stage, grab a guitar, grab a mic, and just, kind of jam out with. I mean, does that urge fight you hard a lot of times when this happens for these concerts and stuff?
I enjoy being a part of the production team that helps facilitate what it takes for an artist to put on a good show.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because I've been on enough stages to know what a good team looks like and what it feels like to have a stage run properly. And that's something that's emphasized at the Liberty is, making sure that the show goes well in all aspects. That the concert goers and the artists have a great experience, and a lot goes into that. And
I can imagine that.
And so, you don't have a lot of time, to think about that when you're running a show. But there have been a few artists for sure that I would love to join on stage for sure.
I didn't think about that, but I imagine that probably bodes well for the ability for you guys to bring in some of these artists too. Like you said, your focus is the experience for everyone, including the artists. But
that's right.
I gotta imagine that's got to be a selling point for when you guys are out trying to bring in these artists to come to Roswell, New Mexico, when they know, the Liberty, every time I go there, setup's good, sound check's good, the people are friendly, you know what I mean? The ancillary stuff that we, the general public, just want to go to a show, see a show, and leave. All the behind-the-scenes stuff that really makes the difference between a successful concert and a bad one. That's where you guys get to work into, because not only you're trying to make it good for the artist, but you're trying to say, hey, it's worth your time for these bands for you to come to New Mexico, come to Roswell, because we're not exactly Chicago or New York City, and we're not on the path, so to speak. When these artists are traveling on the road, generally they come off the beaten path to come see us to get back on the path. So for them to want to do that, it's got to be a fun experience for them, and that's kind of what
right.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Totally, man. Yeah. It's the golden. It all comes down to the golden rule, man. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yeah,
and that's that's what we try and uphold at the Liberty, and that's why artists love playing there.
Yeah,
and
I imagine it's the nitnoid stuff we don't notice, like the sound equipment just works, or that when I plug in, it's how it's supposed to be, or if the sound's not quite right, they have an engineer that works with you and doesn't fight you. You know what I mean? That little stuff like that.
It's a thousand little things. For sure.
Yeah, I know enough. I'm not a musician, but I've been in radio and I've been around enough stuff. I know that sometimes that the devil's in the details there, and it's the big to do is not necessarily landing the big name to come here. It's the work to make sure that it all goes off while it's here.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it. Yeah.
So get your tickets. Come on out. If you have never been out to the Liberty, make this weekend your opportunity. Wade Bowen's going to be there tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Right on the heels of that Sunday night, Tracy Bird's going to be there. Yeah, the Tracy Bird.
The Tracy Bird.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit earlier of a show. It's a Sunday night.
Yeah.
I know people want to, go out and have a good time, but we all got to wake up on Monday as well.
Sure.
So the show does start at 7:30 sharp.
Good deal.
On Sunday. So it is just a little bit earlier so that we can go out and enjoy and maybe grab something to eat, have a couple drinks, see some good music, and get home and be ready to rock on Monday,
I think it'd be a perfect Sunday night, date night, family night, whatever you want to make it with. Come have dinner a little early, and because if you haven't had food at the Liberty, that's half the fun. I mean, the music's the only thing that might trump the music, and I just say might, is the food there. That's kind of, you know what I'm saying? They kind of go hand in hand at the Liberty. So.
Yeah, it's part of it for sure. Man.
Pecos Flavors as well too. When their shows out at the Pecos Flavors, go have lunch there today. If you don't not necessarily see a show, but go have lunch at Pecos Flavors Winery, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So. Now tickets for these shows, is it going through the Liberty Inc. probably the best way to get tickets?
It is the best way. I mean, you'll see of course you can find us on all the social medias.
Sure.
We're on TikTok now, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz, but the most direct way to grab tickets for these shows is at thelibertyinc.com. Yeah. And again, we are a private club.
Yes.
But when you buy your ticket, you're giving us your name and your email. What that is basically signing you in as guest to come to the show. And again, if you do want to become a member at the Liberty, it's only $50 a year.
Yeah.
It's super economical, and it's open to anyone. And the members get exclusive deals on upcoming events. They get first dibs on VIP tickets.
Yeah.
We also Hillary does a fantastic job of hosting a ton of members-only events. Yeah. Sometimes they're with music, or sometimes they're just a party.
Gotcha.
Got Cinco de Mayo coming up, and St. Patty's Day.
The St. Patty's Day, is that a members-only event that's on coming up here on St. Patty's Day, the 17th, next Thursday? Good. But those are the kind of things you get in on. And I know from time to time they do even, I know this is more pre-COVID, but I think this is starting to fire back up where, they'll get like a certain whiskey or a certain cigar.
Totally.
I'm not connoisseur, but like a buyer or a seller, and they'll come and they'll do like a sampling or offer like a big sampling of their whiskeys or their cigars and things, and they turn it into a big event with food and all that. But that's all member exclusive type event stuff. So for that $50 a year, you get in on all of those kind of things. So if you're looking for just a place to, even if it's like, hey, what do you want to do on a Tuesday night? Let's go to Liberty, grab a dinner, kick back.
And Tuesday's Locals Appreciation Night, and there's discount on the drinks on Tuesdays. Thursdays, we got JD playing his local music. He's actually a really talented guy from Hawaii, and he plays there every Thursday.
That's nice.
And it's super cool, man.
And that's the cool part too, is there's always, even when there's not formal concerts or formal events like that happening, like you said, local artists are just hanging out in there. And as we said earlier, Roswell's got an incredible music scene that, I say underground, but it's less and less underground now. It's starting to get more following here. You know, some of the artists that not just at the Liberty, but some of the other venues in town or downtown when they're performing during First Fridays and things. These bands that you're seeing, a lot of them come through the Liberty too. You know, like Matthew Palmer, one you see quite a bit.
Yeah, 100%. Man.
You know. He's one of the local favorites. You may just see hanging out at the Liberty one night, you know, strumming some tunes and while you're enjoying music and drinks and things. It's just, that's the Liberty. That's the vibe out there. So when it's not the big concerts, it's still just a cool place to hang out, you know, quiet, have a drink, settle in, you know, hang out with some friends, have a good time, good food.
But this Friday is going to be killer, man. Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
That's
Wade
right.
Bowen, man.
TheLibertyInc.com. You can get tickets or follow the Liberty on Facebook. And then you can see the event page and see all their upcoming shows, not just the ones this weekend. And then there's links to each one to get tickets and everything else. Like, just kind of give you the quick rundown here. Wade Bowen's tomorrow night. They got Tracy Bird Sunday night, of course, with the St. Patty's Day event for members on Thursday. Is it Thursday? Yeah, next Thursday. Next Saturday, they're going to have, and this is one of the Spanish, which I'm going to botch, Conjunto Virtuoso.
Yeah, Conjunto Virtuoso. They're actually a regional band.
Okay.
They're killer. We've already had them once.
Okay.
And fantastic dance band.
Cool.
And classic norteña style.
Norteña, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And they're fantastic. Really, really top quality act. And again, they are actually regional fellas, all of them. And man, it was a long night of dancing last time they played. So we're gonna get down with that again.
Cool.
And another Spanish show I'm super excited about is the Grupo Fantasma. They're coming in May.
Okay.
And big 12-piece band, full horn section. They actually used to be the backing band for Prince. They've been nominated for Grammys this year.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're pretty broad-based. If they're backing Prince, that's, you know, hip-hop.
They do like, you know, full-on jam versions of the Beatles and Floyd right into
so they got a little rock and roll in their
cumbia.
veins.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow. And I love that because I imagine their music's very fusion like that.
Very fusion.
It's, of course, based with Latin. You know, it's got the Latin bass, but then they start mixing in some rock and roll or some jazz or some, oh, man, that's
and, you know, we got,
cool.
other than, like, headliners, you know, like we got coming up later, too, like Drew Fish and we got Reckless Kelly coming up. And other than acts like that as well, we've also got a Sublime tribute band.
Really?
Yeah, which is going to be cool. I don't think we've ever had them before. They're called 40 Ounces to Freedom, and it's the Sublime band minus, you know.
So all you late 30, early 40-year-olds, get ready because I know y'all are still jamming out to Sublime. I've seen
every day. Every day, man.
Still jamming out to Sublime.
Santeria comes on every morning with my coffee almost, man.
I'm telling you, I know. I'm right there in that group. So yeah, that'll be cool. I love that. You know, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the tribute bands work harder than the actual artists.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Some of them are killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're pretty careful about we really focus on original music at the Liberty.
Sure.
Primarily, you know, but there's some tribute bands out there, and this is one of them.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, they really put on a show. They're dialed in, you know?
You almost have to have either big name or cult-like bands. Like those tribute bands that follow it's either got to be like AC/DC or the more cult fight like Sublime or, you know, I mean, there's certain groups that, you know, Fish, you know, if they did like a Fish tribute band, that would be big, I think, because there's
a ton of them.
You know, I'm
there's
sure.
So many, yeah.
You know what I mean? I just see how that... You know, Tool. You know, bands that are kind of niche. Those always have the good tribute bands. You know, so and I mean, Sublime's mainstream, but they had enough nicheness in them to where they kind of had a cult following, and then enough hits where the average schmo could know a Sublime song or two.
Absolutely.
You know? But that's cool. So please become a member. That's the best way to stay up to date on all this. Is just go to thelibertyinc.com and start your membership process, and then you can start bringing your friends to concerts and things instead of you being the guest, you bring the guests, and you come and be a part of it. But come Friday night. Come tomorrow night. Come see Wade Bowen. Make that your first show. Come out, get the vibe of the place, and then after that, you're probably Saturday morning going to be back online. Going, let's become a member over at the Liberty, or maybe Saturday lunchtime, depending how late of a night your Friday night was. But yeah, definitely,
Absolutely, man.
And of course, I do want to throw a plug in also. Pecos Flavors Winery, good eats, good food. They always got shows and things. Again, follow Pecos Flavors Winery on Facebook. You can follow a tab on all the events and shows that are happening there. But for shopping, if you're looking for great wines or cigars even, Pecos Flavors got you covered. I like to sneak in there and get cigars every once in a while. That's kind of my little local jam to go grab a cigar every now and then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And some of my good friends from Ruidoso, which is where I actually live primarily, are coming down to play Pecos Flavors on Saturday as well. They're called the Abacasa Project. Husband-wife duo. Great Americana duo is going to be there Saturday night. So
cool. Yeah, they've always got great artists just hanging out at Pecos Flavors. It's
absolutely, man.
And again, food's great over there too. Same chefs and things. It's just kind of delicious food. So come hungry, come ready to be entertained, and just and Liberty, you just go out. Pecos Flavors, just any given night, just go out there and sit down, have a meal, and see what's happening, because it's going to be something that happening. Even if it's just something different. It's a vibe. It's just the way it is. So.
Right on, man. Well, I sure appreciate you having me on this morning.
Anytime, and don't forget, The Liberty Inc. is the website. Get your tickets. Wade Bowen tomorrow night, Tracy Bird Sunday night, the Whalers here on the 20th, thelibertyinc.com, or follow The Liberty on Facebook, and, come out and have some fun. You deserve it.
It's time.
It is time.
It's time.
Everybody's, mad about this and mad about that. We're not mad. It doesn't make you mad? Sitting down, having a nice meal, enjoying a great concert, hanging out with some good friends. That'll get the mad out of you. So. Jet, appreciate the visit here, and I'm sure you got some concerts to get ready for, so you got a laundry list of things to do, so we'll let you get at it there. So.
We appreciate it. You have a good morning, man.
You do the same.
We'll see you at the Liberty.
We'll see you at the Liberty. Thank you, sir. Take care. All right, it is 7:42. Let's pause for news of the local variety Kim Commando update as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A man accused of killing his girlfriend in Roswell in January of 2020 has now been captured in Mexico and returned to the United States. A statement from RPD says Jorge Ernesto Rico Rivera fled to Mexico with the couple's son after he killed 27-year-old Isela Mauricio Sanchez, whose body was found in a bedroom of her home on East Forest Street. A family member discovered the woman's body after not being able to reach her for a few days. The child was also found and is now safe with family members in Roswell. The Artesia Police Department is now looking for candidates to send to the Summer 2022 Police Academy. If you're looking for a rewarding career in law enforcement, Artesia PD will be testing candidates on Friday at Bulldog Bowl. You can apply online at artesianm.gov. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Timing, as they say, is everything, especially when it comes to technology. I'm Kim Commando with the Inside Track on when to buy any Apple product, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. On Tuesday, Apple unveiled new products. There was a low-cost iPhone with some severe limitations and a powerful mini Mac. But the star of the show was a brand new fast iPad. If you want the latest iPad tech, now's the time to buy. And prices for new but last generation iPads will come down. If you're budget minded and don't mind using the past generation device, buy your Apple product immediately after the announcement of its replacement. That's the secret. So you're not buying an Apple product that suddenly becomes last year's model. Buy iPads in March, sometimes early April. September, just in time to get products in stores for the holidays, you're going to want to shop for new iPhones, Apple Watches, and laptops. We have reviews of Apple products at Commando.com.
A few decades ago, private citizens used to be largely that, private. What's changed? The internet. Now everything you've browsed, searched for, watched, or tweeted can be crawled through, collected, and aggregated by third parties into a permanent public record, your record. That's why I turn to ExpressVPN to keep my data private every time I go online. There are hundreds of data brokers out there whose sole business is to buy and sell your data. The worst part is, they don't have to tell you who they're selling it to or get your consent. But ExpressVPN reroutes your connection through an encrypted server and masks your IP address, making it more difficult for third parties to identify you and harvest your data. So do what I did and secure yourself with the #1 rated VPN on the market. Visit expressvpn.com/Kim and get 3 extra months for free. That's expressvpn.com/Kim. expressvpn.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today, but we've got some snow on the way by Friday and Friday night with a low pressure system drifting in from the northern Rockies. Looks like mid-60s to around 70 and sunny today, a little bit gusty. Windy for the overnight hours and turning cold. Will be in the upper 20s, and then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow, tapering off in the afternoon and about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Well, it's the end of the season for the Hagerman Bobcats boys basketball team last night. They made it to the state quarterfinals, but the quarterfinals not played on a neutral court. The Hagerman had to travel to number 2, Pecos. Hagerman was the 7th seed in the Class 2A bracket, and Pecos wins that one 74-43. Hagerman finishes the season at 22-3. Hey, let's talk some baseball. The Southwest Classic, hosted by Goddard High School, takes place today. And in Roswell and Goddard, you've got a couple teams that are struggling a little bit getting out of the gates. The Goddard baseball team will play first this morning against Moriarty. Goddard is 0-4. Moriarty is 1-2. Roswell plays tonight at 7 against Gallup. Roswell is 1-4. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Ukraine's government has banned the export of wheat, oats, and other staples that are crucial for global food supplies, as authorities try to ensure they can feed people during Russia's intensifying war. Agricultural exports introduced this week also prohibit the export of sugar, live cattle, and meat, and other byproducts from cattle. That's according to a government announcement. Lawmakers are following through on their threat to seek a criminal investigation of Amazon, asking the Justice Department to investigate whether Amazon and senior executives obstructed Congress or violated other federal laws in testimony on its competition practices. The House Judiciary Committee escalated the bipartisan battle against the world's biggest online retailer with a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland, referring the case for a criminal inquiry. The U.S. average gasoline price on Wednesday, $4.25 a gallon. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The crowning achievement of King Solomon's reign was the construction of his temple in Jerusalem. When building the temple, Solomon spared no expense, from vast quantities of cedar wood to the choicest stone that was quarried somewhere else. At the time of the building of the temple, the Bible says the people were sacrificing at the high places because no house had been built for the name of the Lord. The temple then becomes significant to Israel because it brings together the people of God and is a place where they can invite the presence of God. In today's world, God still desires to locate where his people congregate. Matthew 18 reads that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Christians today still need a place to celebrate the mighty acts of God. Please join us this Sunday as we delve into God's Word and spur one another on to love and good works.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1. Must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
Name to remember.
Nutrien Ag Solutions of Artesia is looking for a general labor yard hand to join their team. Nutrien Ag Solutions is a respected and well-established company who values their employees. To apply, please stop by Nutrien Ag Solutions at 103 East Mill Road in Artesia or apply online at nutrien.com or indeed.com. For more information on this current job opening, please call Nutrien Ag Solutions at 575-748-3510. Nutrien Ag Solutions is an equal opportunity employer.
This time of year, we all like to have fun talking about four-leaf clovers, rabbit's feet, and the luck of the Irish. But when it comes to finding a nice pre-owned vehicle you can really count on, you need more than just luck. You need a dealer like Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico. Great-looking late-model pickups, SUVs, sports cars, and family sedans. But more important than how they look is how they run, so Roswell Ford puts every one through a rigorous 139-point inspection. On top of that, Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee, so if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. That's a lot more than luck. That's true peace of mind. And if you really have a nice car or truck you'd like to sell, please bring it by. We'll look it over and make you an offer on the spot. So when you're ready to move up to a newer vehicle, don't take chances. Come see your friends at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, at the corner of 9th and Main, and leave your rabbit's foot at home.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:52. Got a few minutes here before the top of the hour. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to have City Councilor Jason Perry join us, and he'll preview tonight's City Council meeting, and then join us tomorrow morning in the 7 o'clock hour, about 7:15 or so, to give us the Sports Center recap of tonight's City Council meeting. So that's coming up next hour. Speaking of sports and Sports Center, I got to chime in. Because, and I know this is a minority of people in the audience care about this, but I got to get it off my chest, so just bear with me for a few minutes. So yesterday, my favorite football team, now known as the Washington Commanders, once again did something that the national spotlight has been making fun of them for. And to be honest, I don't know if they're warranted that much fun making on them for this one. I think at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of people that, and I think what happened was when Washington announced their intentions and didn't get their intentions, and now look like they settled. And all of those things probably are true, but it's just maybe that's why if Washington did anything kind of buffoonish is just talk, and I don't even know if that's true, but I think what happened with all the stuff that goes on with Washington, it's a very cynical fan base, as it should be. They've earned the right to be cynical, as far as I'm good. As far as what the Washington franchise has done to them over the last 20 years, they deserve to be cynical. And but anyway, so if you're like, what are you talking about? So yesterday, Washington picked up and acquired a quarterback via trade. And you're thinking, okay, well, that's got to be a good thing. And yeah, it's better than what they got. But a week prior and the weeks leading up, Washington kind of said in this offseason, we're we're going to pursue a quarterback. We're going to go, and they were talking like we're going to make a play for, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, all these names that come out there. And, of course, earlier this week, you probably heard Aaron Rodgers re-signed with the Packers, a long-term deal. Russell Wilson ended up being traded to the Denver Broncos. For those that don't know, Washington was in hard to try to get Russell Wilson. They actually made what NFL experts are calling a better offer than Denver for Russell Wilson. First, the reports came out that Seattle didn't want to trade to an NFC team, hence the reason he went to Denver. What I'm now seeing is because Russell Wilson had a no-trade clause in his trade contract, so he had to basically greenlight any kind of trade that was going to happen. And so I was seeing reports just a few minutes ago that allegedly he turned down 2 offers that Seattle got. One was the Washington offer. The other was the Philadelphia Eagles, which that would have hurt. That would have stung. If Washington lost Russell Wilson and he ended up in Philly, that would have made me mad. At least he's in Denver where I don't have to look at him very often. But you know what I mean? Compared to so that was. But anyway, so Washington in the last week here has lost out on Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, the 2 big gets for quarterbacks this year. Now there was other rumors about Derek Carr coming available for trade and all that. Deshaun Watson there in Houston. Everyone's waiting to see what his legal troubles are going to be, but that one's up in the air. So Washington, I guess they didn't want to wait around to figure out what was going on with Deshaun Watson. And quite frankly, with Washington's bad history right now, and what landmine that could be the Deshaun Watson thing, if you sign him and whatever, who knows, maybe nothing will happen. But apparently there's like 20-some allegations or charges of sexual harassment against this guy, and I don't know what they're waiting on. Let's either do something or not do something. I don't know what are they waiting for him to sign with the team and then we're going to hammer him? I don't know, but they don't want to mess with that, understandably. So they went out, and apparently Washington contacted all 32 NFL teams and inquired about trade offers and things. I don't know for quarterbacks what specifically, but I guess they made a connection with the Indianapolis Colts and ended up picking up Carson Wentz yesterday, who now, assuming as of today, will be the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. Now, after pick, and then he got a couple of third-round picks for him. It wasn't, fortunately, the what they would have had to give up for Russell Wilson is not the same than what they had to give up for Carson Wentz. They would have cost him multiple. They offered 3 first-round picks and option of players and all this stuff to try to get Russell Wilson. I think it's a third round and maybe a third or a second for next year, and they got Carson Wentz, which I think is actually less than what Indianapolis paid to get him initially. So what does that tell you? But I don't know. And then of course no one's happy. Once the Carson Wentz trade was announced, all I saw online was people bashing it. The pundits, the people that spend all day just watching this stuff and then reporting it on Twitter or what have you, they were not happy. And then, of course, the casual fan, which casual fan's a rube. That's just like it is in any sport. They come out there and, you follow a fan page of your sports team. That's where you're going to find the dumbest, most stupidest comments. Everyone's a GM or an NFL coach in there, and none of them know anything. Some of them barely know football, and it shows. And and they were all mad too. And at the end of the day, I think everyone's mad because it's not sexy. It wasn't Russell. Everyone was, and DC's one of those people. They love when they bring in these big names and gets them all excited for a minute, and they all busto. That's what happens. But I got to be honest, the Carson Wentz, it doesn't blow my skirt up. I'm not but I don't think it's a bad move for this team. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think they didn't cost them the picks. They still got some picks. They could still draft a quarterback at 11, Kenny Pickett or one of these guys if they're available at that point, and have them sit behind Carson Wentz for a year or two. They've actually got some players. I mean, they've got some pieces in place. They've got to do some little more upgrading on, I'd say, at linebacker, in their secondary, and then maybe some line help. But they're pretty close. Their skill positions are pretty much set. Maybe another wideout to throw in the mix, but they're not that far off. And a quarterback could put them into that next level. I don't know if Carson Wentz is it, but with the pieces in place, he might be serviceable enough to make them a respectable playoff team. But certainly more than Heineke ever would. But we'll see. Anyway, all right, I'm done talking about Washington. All right, it's time for Town Hall News. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A key inflation gauge is at a 40-year high. The Consumer Price Index for February is out this morning.
Propelled by surging costs for gas, food, and housing, consumer inflation jumped 7.9% over the past year, the sharpest spike since 1982 and likely only a harbinger of even higher prices to come. The increase reported by the Labor Department reflected the 12 months ending in February and didn't include most of the oil and gas price increases that followed Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24th. Since then, average gas prices nationally have jumped about 62 cents a gallon to $4.32, according to AAA. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Vice President Harris embracing calls for an international war crimes investigation of Russia over its invasion of Ukraine and its bombing of civilian targets, including a maternity hospital.
We stand with the people of Ukraine. We admire their courage. We are aligned in our support of their sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Harris at a news conference in Poland. Although he wasn't able to make any progress in talks with his Russian counterpart, Ukraine's foreign minister is urging his countrymen to do their best to stand strong in the face of ongoing Russian aggression.
The last thing I want today is to kill hope in the civilians who suffer from Russian air raids, bombardments, and the behavior of and the killings committed by Russian army on the ground.
There were no breakthroughs in talks on a proposed ceasefire that would have allowed for the evacuation of civilians. On Wall Street, stocks are lower following release of the inflation report this morning. Right now, the Dow is down about 170 points. The NASDAQ Composite Index off 158 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What if I told you your home movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/lbox to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/lbox to unlock our $9 offer. legacybox.com/lbox.
Taiwan's defense minister says a conflict with China, which threatens to invade the self-governing island, would be a disaster for all sides, regardless of the outcome. China has largely backed Russia in invading Ukraine, a conflict that has echoes in Beijing's approach to Taiwan. Taiwan's defense chief says nobody wants a war. It really has to be thoroughly thought over. At the annual meetings of China's rubber-stamped legislature this week in Beijing, delegates are criticizing what they call foreign influence and separatism in Taiwan. German chemical and healthcare company Bayer is selling a U.S.-based pest control business to a private equity firm for $2.6 billion. The business that's being sold is headquartered in Cary, North Carolina, and Bayer says that as of last year, it had approximately 800 employees. News and analysis at townhall.com. A judge favors boosting the Sackler family's payment in an OxyContin settlement.
A federal bankruptcy judge said Wednesday he would approve a plan locking members of the Sackler family, the owners of OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma, into adding at least an additional $1.2 billion into a nationwide settlement. The new terms would increase the Sackler contribution to between $5.5 billion and $6 billion in cash. The Sackler family would also have to give up ownership of Purdue Pharma, which would be turned into a new company, with profits being used to fight the opioid crisis. While the Sacklers would be shielded from civil lawsuits, the deal does not include immunity from criminal charges. U.S. bankruptcy judge Robert Drain will hold a virtual hearing on the settlement Thursday. I'm Mike Gracia.
The House has approved almost $14 billion more in aid for Ukraine. The Senate will take up that measure tomorrow. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Yeah, I was, you know why your chair was so low? Jet's a very tall man.
He's a tall drink of water. I'm not gonna lie.
I forgot how tall he was. He walked in, I'm like, and then he wears a hat that's very
tall. That man's
tall.
a double shot of whiskey is what he is. So yeah, I come in, I sit down, and I'm down here. It's a little low, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I just let you get in. Yeah, you kind of look like a little kid sitting there.
It's fun. I'm gonna do this for a minute.
But Jet had to get down to that level to get to normal level for us. So
this is nice. Look at this. I can flatline the arms.
There you go.
This is neat.
I feel like you need some pudding.
Right? What needs to happen is you need to go up a little bit on the camera just so I look even smaller.
Oh yeah. It's all
yeah, move it up just a scotch.
That's how they.
Tanner's like, you're making me work.
It's like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know, and how do you think they made Hagar?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, it made him look bigger. They went the other way of the camera.
Oh, that's not what I meant. But now I just filled the shot. What was that old little Lulu? And that's the truth.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's kind of hard to do it from his angle, I think.
That's intense right there. Just Mike talking to him.
I feel like I could just throw you
a guy. I know, right?
We need to do
stupid human tricks.
The bit that Conan did during COVID. Like, you ever seen some of his I
haven't gone back and watched COVID Conan.
When Conan was on during COVID, and he was like doing his shows out of that theater all by it was
with
just him and Andy Richter.
With Andy, yeah.
It was him and Andy Richter.
That was one of the funniest things. Is he'd tell a joke in his monologue.
Yeah.
Dead silence, and then he'd cut to Andy and he'd go, "It's funny."
But they would do commercials, like legit commercials, and one of them was for Prego spaghetti sauce that they kept doing. But they had a split screen like this one.
Oh, I'm tiny.
Yeah, now you're real tiny. But they had a split screen like this, and it showed him sitting like at a table, like outside and so Conan's at one side of the split screen, Andy's on the other, and then you start seeing Conan feed him spaghetti, and like they pass it through the split screen. And so I was just thinking, like, we could do that with this, where I'm just like throwing nuts or something.
You hand it over this way.
By the way, I keep forgetting to bring the hummus and the pretzels.
I know. I was thinking about that this morning. I was walking through the store. I'm like, Mike said he had snacks
I do.
today.
I forgot. I keep forgetting to bring it tomorrow.
That's all right. We're
Tomorrow's McDonald's
tomorrow's
Friday.
McDonald's Friday.
We'll do it. We'll still bring them in. We can get it done.
Hummus has a nice shelf life. You can keep it around for a while.
Yeah. It's chocolate hummus.
Assuming it actually lasts in your household.
I have not opened it.
Oh.
The other night, I've been tempted 3 times. I have not opened. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to save that. And then I forget.
You know how many times I've meant to save something for dinner? I'm like, well, I could save half the bag.
Yeah. No, I have. I've disciplined myself.
Oh, well played.
So, I don't know. It's not that hard. If it was goobers, they've been gone.
Yeah.
But the chocolate hummus, since I've never tried, I'm just deciding whether it's going to be good or not. I can wait.
It's like that 12-pack of Starlights you got, Coke Zero Starlights you got sitting around your house. You know,
Yeah. Hey, maybe we get really crazy. And if we like the hummus with the pretzels, pair it with McDonald's foods.
Nice. McDonald's, we might have something for you. Maybe a new breakfast dip.
Oatmeal, chocolate or hummus oatmeal.
Dude, that might be amazing. That might be a game changer. See, that might be an expensive thing to have because then it's like, I have to get my McDonald's oatmeal, but I also have to have this boar's head hummus that they only sell in one store in Roswell. Which, if you've ever had a child who's, God, I'm so small. If you ever had
You get smaller every time I look.
I know, every time I just like.
It's like one of those Geico commercials. You keep going back and the belt buckle gets bigger.
If you ever had a child who's on the spectrum, then you know how hard it is. Like, they'll get attached to one product and that's like all they'll have. Like, specifically, my daughter loves the Welch's kiwi strawberry juice.
Okay.
It's hard to find. They only have it in certain stores. When those stores don't have it, it's a bad day.
Right. And in the world of COVID, where it's hit or miss on supply and demand, you're going to run out of microphone.
I'm going to run out of under desk space here. Mike and I are about to start playing some footsie.
Good thing I'm tucked in.
It's more than I wanted to know about you at 8 o'clock on a Thursday.
I'm all tucked in over
There
here.
you
I'm
go.
okay. So,
laid back with my mind on my mic and my mic on my mind.
But the thing about the chocolate hummus oatmeal, there's a lot of healthy words in there. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but there's enough unhealthy to counterbalance the
Right,
healthy.
Exactly. Because you're like, hummus, oh, good. Oatmeal, good. Chocolate.
Right, that's
sugar. Yeah.
That's where you missed out.
But if you got to lie to yourself that you eat healthier, there you go.
Yeah. I love this shot. I think this is like my favorite shot ever on this show.
Especially though he's moved me up.
I know,
closer
yeah.
and moved you out
He's
farther.
Godzilla-ized you.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
feel like I
tiny.
just need to go over and go.
Squishy.
All right, we'll stop playing.
This is totally visual, by the way. The radio.
I know.
What is going on?
And this is why we're 7, because this is what we do. We see cameras and we start playing
We
around.
get a toy. We're gonna play with the toy.
Sorry, you just get to come along for the ride. We got serious business coming up here. We do have a city council meeting tonight. We have City Councilor Jason Perry is going to join us here in just a few. We'll preview tonight's meeting, and then he'll join us back tomorrow morning in the 7 o'clock hour and recap. Looking at the agenda, it looks like a lot of road and ordinance work with water lines and a lot of that stuff they're going to be talking about tonight, and road stuff and quite a few things on that agenda. I was kind of looking at it. So we'll talk all about that here with Councilor Jason Perry in just a little bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your town hall business update, Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today, but we've got some snow on the way by Friday and Friday night with a low-pressure system drifting in from the northern Rockies. Looks like mid-60s to around 70 and sunny today, a little bit gusty. Windy for the overnight hours and turning cold. Will be in the upper 20s, and then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow, tapering off in the afternoon and about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 29 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds currently out of the north, 15 miles per hour. Today, during the day, not so bad. Sunny, highs around 66, so mid-60s for a high today. North winds, little breezy, 10 to 20. They'll shift to the south later today. Then tonight, that's when all things change, mostly after you go to bed, though. We're looking at a 20% chance of snow showers, and they're talking overnight hours, like after midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. Should be seeing that. We're going to see some increasing clouds overnight with an overnight low of 25, so it's going to be chilly. Winds will be out of the southwest 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. So the winds are going to increase as the clouds increase tonight as well. And then Friday, you're probably going to wake up to a little snow on the ground. Probably not much. They're expecting less than an inch total out of here, so maybe a dusting when you wake up. But they're talking 60% chance of more snow till about 11 tomorrow. Cloudy through mid-morning. Gradually, that'll all clear away, and we'll see some sun later, but not going to warm up a whole lot. Highs only supposed to hit around 41 tomorrow with north winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. But like I said, they expect less than an inch of snow showing up for us tomorrow morning and overnight here. So maybe a delay, but you're probably going to school tomorrow. That's my prediction. And then looking at the weekend, Saturday, sunny skies, a high of 63. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then we're back into the 70s on Sunday, sunny with a high of 73. And we're going to ride that 70s out through at least a good hunk of next week. 70 on Monday, 77 on Tuesday, 82 on Wednesday. So a little cold, but the warm is coming. So, and then don't forget, your clocks will be, this is not the good one, spring forward. I know some people like, this is the one I don't like. I hate losing an hour. I covet that hour. Take my hour during the week. Don't take my Saturday and weekend hours. All right. Hey, real quick before we do take a break, I want to invite you out this Saturday night, United Way of Chavez County. They are going to have a big fundraising event called Get Lucky Chavez County. It's this Saturday night, March 12th, 6 to 11:30 p.m. at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. All the proceeds from the event will go to United Way of Chavez County, which they help many organizations, nonprofits in our community. Odds are pretty good if you think about our big nonprofits in our community. Odds are pretty good they get support from United Way of Chavez County. So you come out. Cost is $50 per person, and it's a night that includes a lot of fun and all things Irish dinner. Cocktail hour. They'll have casino-style gambling and dancing. So you're going to have a fun. Be sure to wear green so you can get lucky. And come on out. Again, it's going to be at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center this Saturday, March 12th, 6 to 11:30 p.m. Cost is $50. For more information and to purchase tickets, there's a couple different ways you could do it. If you go online, you can go to www.getluckychavezcounty.brownpapertickets.com. Again, that's getluckychavezcounty.brownpapertickets.com. Or call if you have any questions, want more information, 575-622-4150. Again, that's 575-622-4150. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take about a 3-minute break, and then City Councilor Jason Perry will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at roswellufomuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 622-4455.
The crowning achievement of King Solomon's reign was the construction of his temple in Jerusalem. When building the temple, Solomon spared no expense, from vast quantities of cedar wood to the choicest stone that was quarried somewhere else. At the time of the building of the temple, the Bible says the people were sacrificing at the high places because no house had been built for the name of the Lord. The temple then becomes significant to Israel because it brings together the people of God and is a place where they can invite the presence of God. In today's world, God still desires to locate where his people congregate. Matthew 18 reads that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Christians today still need a place to celebrate the mighty acts of God. Please join us this Sunday as we delve into God's Word and spur one another on to love and good works.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, by day or by night, I'm not sure which the title thing is, representing the people of Ward 2. But today, giving us all the updates on what's going on here, City Councilor Jason Perry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The mayor couldn't join us this morning, so I spoke with him yesterday. And being Mayor Pro Tem, I'm jumping in just to give some information concerning all that we've got going on. It's been a crazy ride these last several months.
It's been very busy, and now tonight is a city council meeting, and this is actually the final city council for the current administration.
Correct.
The new elected officials will take over here in April.
Now, it used to not be that way. When I was first elected, 2010 or so, you immediately took over. I mean, as soon as you were, within a week.
They canvass it, and then the next time.
As soon as the canvassing was over, you went straight up, you took your oath of office, and boom, you were sitting behind a city council dais having a meeting. And
sure.
But the state and Secretary of State's rules and everything now require that there's that. Well, a lot of people call a lame duck session, but it's not a lame duck session. We got business to do for the people of Roswell.
Absolutely.
We need to continue moving forward.
Yeah, and like you see, like I was looking at the agenda tonight, and like a lot of it's not sexy or exciting, but very much needed. It's a lot of minutia of approving this so water can happen here, or adjust this ordinance so this can happen here. It's a lot of that tonight.
You will not need NyQuil to make it through tonight's session. You will be able to sleep just fine. Nothing, no great fireworks or excitement.
Sure.
But it's things that make a significant difference in the way we live our life here in Roswell.
You'll notice it very much if these meetings didn't happen and the things.
Absolutely.
But like you said, like they do it a little different now as far as the changes. So tonight will be the final city council for those that are going to be up for the next year. But so at the next meeting will be a regular meeting with just the new people there, or is there a transition thing in between?
There'll also be there's some other meetings that'll be taking place between now and the new council, if you would say, the newcomers coming on, and that will be the general services will have their regular meeting, and they'll be voting on things that will. See, we've got to continue, because to have the next city council meeting, they have to have things go through committees to be able to be voted on, or they'd be sitting there.
This got to be for this to happen there. Yeah.
So there'll be a general services committee, there'll be a public safety committee meeting, there'll be an infrastructure committee meeting, and there'll be a legal committee meeting. We just had my last meeting as chair of the finance committee. Of course, now the new mayor will determine who will be the new chairs of the committees.
So you may end up back there depending on the mayor's decision there.
I may be a nobody after this. I don't know what I'll be. I may be, just on a committee. I don't know. It's at the mayor's discretion as to who he chooses. He can choose to leave the 5 chairs as they are, and there's some chairs that won't be returning to the council, but he can choose whoever he wants to. So I could continue as chair of finance. Sure. I've enjoyed finance. I enjoy all parts of the city and trying to make a difference.
Sure.
And we've done some really great things in the last 2 years as chair of finance. We've done a lot, and I've been very fortunate to have good members on that committee to. It was a hard year when we took that turn for the worse with COVID.
Yeah, you've taken it over at a very...
I came on, and I really wanted to focus on some things with the medical fields and with doctors. That's where I really wanted to place my focus. And immediately, boom, we're hit with COVID, and we're looking at a nationwide, a worldwide pandemic and not knowing where things are going to go. And as chair of finance, I took a lot of hard hits when we made the decision to cut 23% out of. I mean, that's a major cut. But I was very fortunate to have people on the committee that stood behind us, and then the council as a whole. I don't take that credit. We had a great council. Mayor Kintai took so much time into looking into the things with COVID to ensure that we were going to be exactly where we needed to be.
Sure.
And it was successful. We were able to keep everything ready. We didn't have to fire one person. We did offer early retirements and stuff, but we didn't have to fire one person from a permanent position.
Yeah, the job was done so good and done well as far as preparing for the worst. Fortunately, in the financial side of things, it didn't turn out as bad as we thought.
We did
so
very well.
We were expecting major hits to gross receipts, and that didn't come in as bad as we thought.
And interestingly enough, major hits were taken across New Mexico, significant hits in cities.
Yeah.
But we were very fortunate. For years we've wondered, well, how much GRT do we receive from people in Tatum, from people in Vaughn? How much GRT do we get from people in Artesia, from these other areas that don't have a Sam's, that don't have a Home Depot, or don't have even I know a lot of people in Artesia who drive up just for the mom and pop stores. They just enjoy, just as I know people in Roswell who drive to Artesia to go to some of their little mom and pop stores.
I hate to say it, but Artesia gets kind of ghost town on the weekends because they're all here or in Carlsbad shopping and eating and doing everything.
It's funny. Yeah. You know that I pastor a church. We have a church in Artesia, and so we're there on the weekends. And I will tell you, they roll up the sidewalks.
They do. They all come here.
Everybody comes here, and but we enjoy it. We do love being able to serve two communities. It's we're blessed to be able to do that. But anyway, so during COVID, it was a horrific time financially. It was a good time to take a look at our finances and cut the pork, cut the waste. What was interesting is when you're cutting 23%, you think, man, that's going to be a really hard hit. And there were some really hard hits, but there was a lot of it that was. You
didn't miss so much.
Didn't miss so much. And as a fiscal conservative, that's where I want to be.
Absolutely. And that's how a government should run, in my opinion.
Yeah,
every dime should be very much, if it's taxpayer money,
that's right.
It should be accounted for.
As a fiscal conservative, I don't mind paying what it costs for services. I don't want to pay 25% more than the cost of the services.
Absolutely.
And so we were able to bring and fine-tune that stuff back in place. And I know that, so many people were campaigning, some won, some lost, but on the fees that we have fees at the museum, we have fees at the zoo, and we have fees at this and that, to get rid of these fees. And, but as a fiscal conservative, I believe in paying what the services are rendered to me.
Well, I'm
okay with that.
Yeah, and real quick, just before, because I do want to talk the meeting here, but I kind of want to talk about that a little bit since we're in that ballpark. When we talk about the city fees for the different city amenities that we're talking about and the increase in those. And it really, that was kind of a cocktail of a bad time where even throw COVID out of the mix and all of that, we were at a time where the city was way undercharging for these services and they were losing money hand over fist. Now, granted, we're not necessarily looking to make these profitable entities. City's not a business per se. They want the bucks to balance. They're not. I mean, sure, it's nice to make money on things, but that's not necessarily the goal.
The city has a word that private sector doesn't like, and that's the word subsidize.
Right.
And it's a real word. And there are some areas that you know, and I tell people when it comes to transportation, as a, and this city is a nonpartisan, but you know, I was chairman of the Republican Party here. I'm a staunch conservative.
When you're not city council, you're a conservative Republican. So.
But you know, I don't believe in a lot of subsidizations. I believe people ought to work. Now I understand some people can't work, but I believe people ought to work.
Sure.
You ought to work. The Bible
you want something
says
you get for
the
it.
Bible says you should eat by the sweat of your brow. You don't sweat, you don't eat. That's just what the Bible says. And so I recognize that when it comes to public transportation, we're not going to make our money back on public transportation. But at the same time, as a conservative, I believe that people ought to work. So, but if someone is not able to make the kind of money to have a car and insurance and gas and all these other things, but they can take that bus and go to work, or take that bus and get to a hospital with their children and stuff.
They're contributing to society.
You're contributing to a portion of our society that also contributes back to us in one way or another. So I understand subsidizations, but when it comes to a zoo, if I want to take my children to the zoo, and my family are members of the zoo, we choose to do that and support that. But if we only want to go to the zoo 3 times a year, I want to pay whatever it costs for me and my children to enjoy the zoo. I don't mind doing that. Where I do mind as a citizen here, just having something free that I don't utilize. And instead of my GRT going towards roads, which everybody's barking about right now, which, by the way, the city council has spent twice as much than ever before.
Have you noticed there's a lot of construction going on in various parts of the city on these roads tonight?
And now everybody be griping that they can't get around town. But anyway.
Can't win for trying.
But see, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Yeah. Do we charge at the zoo, or do we subsidize it and take that money away from roads, take that money away from the police department?
And that's the balance.
Take that money away. Why? It comes from the same pocket.
Sure.
It comes from the same pocket. So you have to make a determination as to what you're going to. So, I mean, I understand there's been some hits.
Sure.
And I'm just glad this election has passed us. And I really can work with anyone. I can. I've always said that, you know, with each administration, I served under Sam LaGrone. I served under Dale Journey. I served under Mayor Kintai. And I will serve under Mayor Jennings. And I will... when we agree, we're going to agree well, and we're going to do that publicly.
Sure.
And when we disagree, we're not going to agree, and then we're going to vote, though.
Sure.
And after the vote's over, we're going to move on. And I've done that with every one of these mayors that I've worked with.
But I think that's a good thing. And what I mean by that, and you know, we talk, and of course, Mayor Kintai, him and I have discussed this many times on this show. You know, having the largest city council in the state with 10 members, and each ward has 2 people.
Good luck.
Yeah, it can get, but at the same time, there's a lot of good government that comes out of that.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And that's because government shouldn't be smooth and easy all the time. If it is, then you got to worry, because that's when things like power and, you know what I mean, those start getting abused and shifted. That debate, that healthy discussion of the issues, that healthy determining what's the right move, the good, the bad, the ugly of it, and weigh it out in a forum we all can hear all sides. That's good government. And that's how this country is based on. And I think that 10 city council, I think it really helps to foster that a little bit, and that's a good thing. So I'm not a guy that likes everyone on the same page when it comes to government, because that's when, well, look at Santa Fe and look what we've been dealing with since the life of the state of New Mexico. That's what happens when everyone's on the same side.
Well, it can get interesting for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just have to say, before we get into the agenda, it has been it has been a pleasure to serve under Mayor Kintai. We have not always agreed. I've often compared ourselves as 2 brothers that have to share the same room.
Sure.
You know, when we agree well. When we don't, here's the thing that has been good about working with Mayor Kintai is that when we disagree, we battle. He's passionate. I'm telling you, that man is passionate.
Sure.
But I am too, and
Absolutely.
we battle. But as soon as that vote is over with, if my side wins, we move on. If his side wins, we move on to the next issue. We never did carry that chip.
Sure.
We didn't carry that hurt, that aggravation with each other. Why? Because we respected each other as colleagues, and I'm hoping to be able to have the same relationship with all the new councilors that are coming on, because because Roswell needs that.
Sure.
Roswell doesn't need me disagreeing with that one or that one disagreeing, or me having an agenda or this one having an agenda. Roswell can't afford that.
Yeah.
Roswell's spoken. The votes have come in, and I'm confident that Mayor-elect Jennings loves this community, and I'm confident that he has a passion, that he has some thoughts that maybe we've not thought of before. And
Sure.
We've got to look at Roswell as a whole, and we need to look at what's going to be best to move forward with Roswell. And so there'll be time for training. Everybody has to learn the ropes.
I didn't know if there's been an informal meeting of all the new city council yet or not.
There will be.
Okay.
I am part of. I'll be part of that with the city manager and some other folks within the city. Will be bringing everyone together next week, the newly elected, and we'll be discussing and talking about the different departments and give them an on-the-ground, a boots-on-the-ground look at things.
Sure.
It's not fair to just throw them in, swear them in, and then say, there you go.
Yeah, a government budget is nothing like your home budget.
Everybody thinks it's a business. Everybody thinks because they manage their money well at home that you've got to learn what a PELT is, what LEDA funds are. You've got to understand what these enterprises are. You got to understand how the state allows us to spend our own money. Then you've got RFPs and you've got all these other things you have to deal with. It can drive you crazy. And then everyone has been invited, and I've called all the newly elected, and I've congratulated them, and I've welcomed them to Santa Fe. The New Mexico Municipal League will be having a class for newly elected officials. I always go up.
They do a great job of getting people, county commissioners. They do, all
they'll
those.
Pretty much tell you, okay, here's your guidelines as a council. Here's what you're looking at. But we don't want to wait for that. That's in April.
Sure.
We want to help the newly electeds transition now. So we'll be doing that next week with them, and you'll have some who've been around and done a little bit of this before, like representative, judge, commissioner, dog catcher, everything. Bobby Corn.
I think Robert Corn has been in a meeting or two of these.
He will probably be a little bit more bored than everyone else, and Mr. Jennings as well. But
but then again, also too,
city government's different though.
Well. But I think it's great because actually what's going to happen is you're getting them acclimated now. So when they go to their, I guess, formal training, you could say, here in a month,
they'll already have a
and they'll actually be able to get a little deeper with it. So instead of learning terms that's foreign to them or something that they're not familiar with, they'll already have at least an understanding of what it is when they get a little deeper into it.
And then when they do take that oath of office, and then within 2 weeks they're sitting behind a dais having a city council meeting,
that's right,
they're ready to go.
Sure,
and Roswell needs that. Roswell needs that. We owe it to Roswell to give this a try. And
well, we have an election. The people have spoken, and now it's time for everyone to do our jobs and do it.
And it'll be hard. We had some good counselors. You have Counselor Stubbs who, wow, she. And I tell people, and I mean this, she had more understanding of municipal government in her pinky finger than the rest of us did.
Yeah.
All collectively. So that will be a loss to us.
Sure.
But Counselor Stubbs has served this city well, and now the people have chosen a new voice.
Yeah.
And now we have Mr. Hildebrand who will be coming on. I know him. We're both Rotarians.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that he has a love and a passion for this city.
I think his experience for finances will be a huge asset to the city council.
So we'll move forward, and we'll try to make the community well.
Yeah. And I got a funny feeling, people like Judy Stubbs, if you need to bend her ear about anything, I'm sure she's a phone call away for you guys. So.
When Judy was off the council for a few years before, she was still passionate. She was still just a phone call away. She was still ready to help.
Mm-hmm.
You take Councilor Roebuck, and I had a conversation. He says, this does not mean I'm stopping working for this community. He says, I just feel like this season of life that I can be more beneficial, maybe from another aspect.
Sure.
He's still going to continue to try to make Roswell better. Councilor Kennard, you will not find anyone else that's more passionate about ensuring the conservative.
Those people aren't going away.
They're not going away. We've been blessed to have these people on our council. We have been very blessed. We had Daniel Lopez. Which I've not gotten to know really well, but I'm going to tell you the little bit of time I knew him, that man, just because he's not going to be on the council does not mean that he's not going to be serving Roswell.
Yeah.
He is a busy man
Yeah.
and loves this community. Roswell's blessed to have had some great people, and just because these people did not retain their seat does not mean they did a bad job for the city of Roswell. These people did a phenomenal job. There's been so much accomplished just in the last 2 years, and for some of them 4 years that they've been on their term. And for Mayor Kintai in 8 years, there's been a lot accomplished. We can point out some areas where maybe we should have done better. I'm part of that. But we like to concentrate on that. But there have been some phenomenal things that have happened, and it's been an honor to serve with every one of them. It really
Absolutely.
has been.
That the leadership that those individuals have provided us the last 3 years through what could be argued as some of the toughest times in modern history for us.
Right.
You know, I mean, certainly probably since World War II, they've probably been dealing with some of the things we're dealing with in this day and age. So, yes, absolutely right. Was everything done perfect? No, it never would, and it never will be.
That's right.
It never will be. Yeah, but you know what? They busted their tails to do what's best for us in our community. Tireless nights, making decisions that aren't always popular but are necessary, and we thank them for that. So.
And I just encourage the people that are out there, when you see these counselors that are going out, when you see Mayor Kintai, you may not agree with everything that Mayor Kintai has said or done. I didn't either. He didn't agree with everything I said or did. We're never going to be that way. But would you do Roswell a favor when you see Mayor Kintai, when you see Councilor Stubbs, Councilor Roebuck, Councilor Kennard, Councilor Lopez, tell them thank you. You know, thank you for investing in Roswell. Roswell's a better place because folks have stood up.
And I got a feeling you're going to see those individuals' names on various committees that serve the city council and serve the
Councilor
city well.
Henderson right now is on planning and zoning. Councilor Steve Henderson served us well for a great number of years.
Yeah.
And, that often happens, you know, and I know you want to get on this, but let me just think. Roswell lost two of our own just here lately. Doris Calloway. I don't know if you know who she was. She was on the city council back in the 90s. She passed away a couple of days ago. And then just 2 days ago, Judge Larry Loy, who was the municipal judge, he passed away in Austin, Texas
sorry to hear
on
that.
Tuesday. And so just thought I'd bring that up. You know,
we grieve with their families. And
yes, sir.
Again, people that serve this community.
Served well.
And
Yes,
the
sir.
reason why we are as great as we are today is people like that in our past doing
And now we've got new folks coming on, and I just I'm just going to be positive, and we're going to believe that Roswell's going to be a greater place.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And we're all going to, put our heads down and grind on through this here.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, we got about 15 minutes here left. We don't need all the minutiae, the boring stuff, but some of the highlights that might draw some interest for that's on the agenda here tonight. I know a lot of it's some road stuff, some more water stuff, a couple other things I saw, some ordinances about.
So
changing.
a lot of things are roads, and more roads. Striping, we've got to get all. We're getting ahead. We're about to do from McGaffey to College on Main Street. Now that is a state road. But there was a state match of 95% to have that road done, and we'll get that taken care of.
We'll take that every time.
It's going to be a Nova chip, so there'll be a 1 inch taken from that and 1 inch replaced. And then all that striping will be redone. So we'll get that Main Street finalized. There's some other areas all over town. I was talking to our city engineer, Louis Nahar, yesterday, and I said he was walking through City Hall, and I said, "Don't you have a road to pave?" And he started laughing. He says, "Haven't you been out in Roswell?" I said, "No, I can't get around Roswell.
No
I
paved
can't
roads.
figure out. I can't figure out because y'all got everything closed, you know." But we're keeping our promise to the people. The last election 2 years ago, we heard from the people. They wanted the roads fixed, and over 12, right at $13 million of GRT. And there again, let me say that we couldn't do that. Listen, we could not do 13 million or 12 million in roads this year if we were completely 100% subsidizing the zoo, 100% subsidizing the museum, 100% subsidizing all of these other activities. I understand, but that's we can't do both all the time.
Well, there's
We're able to do
priorities,
that. Yes, sir.
and the zoo is a valuable asset. It's a wonderful thing in this community, and we need it. It's a very important thing. However, when it comes to roads, water, and emergency services, those are all much bigger priorities than the museum, the zoo, or the recreation center.
Those are quality of life.
Yeah.
I don't consider flushing my toilet a quality of life. I consider it I lived in Mexico.
and you appreciate things like running water and air conditioning and electricity.
Well, and there were times we were in villages, the Tarahumara villages and stuff that didn't have running water. And so but I grew up in the South. I remember one time I took my wife up to Virginia to see my grandparents, and he pastored way out in the woods, Eggleston, Virginia, and Giles County, and two of his churches had outhouses. And my wife had never used an outhouse in her life, and I thought we were going to be divorced. I waited till she got in there, and she was scared to death, the spiders, and it was dark. Gave her just enough time to get in there, and I threw a big old rock on top of the tin roof.
Well, that was on you.
But so I don't consider flushing a toilet a quality of life.
Sure.
That's sort of for us who don't live in third world, that's a necessity. But that's why we're able to do that. I remember being on the council when we had to raise the water rates by over 20% because it had not been raised in 20 years, and we were subsidizing flushing toilets.
Sure.
That's why our road, that's why our pipelines have been in the shape they were, because we didn't have the finances. Well, we made the hard decision.
Sure.
There again, as a fiscal conservative, I don't mind paying what it takes to maintain and get that water to me.
Sure.
Don't want to pay 25% more, but I want to pay to get it done.
Sure.
But so there's a lot of those items on here tonight. There's water, the water line out at the Air Center that we've been working on. Is finally, we've got all that taken care of and ready to go. We've got other water lines, other water projects. We have another huge one that people there again, they're not going to think anything about it, but the wastewater treatment plant.
Yep.
I went and toured that thing, and it was unbelievable. But we're going to be putting some equipment out there that the dry beds, when you after you take waste from your commode and it goes through the system, it goes into a sludge.
Okay.
Well, you have to take that sludge and get all the water you can out of it. Then you put it in dry beds and let it evaporate.
Okay.
That takes a long time.
So basically it sits in these beds and dries out.
Yes. Now we've got these screws that are going to be coming in, these very, very powerful things that push it through and literally
ring it?
Sort of ring it. That's the best way I know how to say it.
Like a sponge squeezing it kind of.
It takes as much of that water out, and now the process of drying that out to where now it's fertilizer, if you would say, is significantly, the time change is greater. So that's going to help the people of Roswell, because when those tanks get full, you start getting nervous. What am I gonna, you know.
That's a lot of poop.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of puns we could use, but I'm a Baptist preacher. We'll move on.
It hits the fan.
It hits the fan. And but we've got those projects tonight. But another one that's going to be very interesting that maybe not everyone won't see immediately, but it's going to change Roswell, is we do have a public hearing, and that is going to be handling for the zoning ordinances, which goes along for the MRA. What the MRA is, the Metropolitan Redistricting Area, which is the railroad area, the railroad district. We've realized that we want people to take these buildings in this really older part of town and to bring them back up to a standard, and for tourists, for locals to enjoy.
Property values, the whole nine. Yes.
When I lived in Chattanooga, they took an old bridge, the Market Street Bridge that spanned the Tennessee River, and I mean, it was dilapidated, but it was still beautiful. And they invested in getting it fixed, and then that connected as a walking bridge, and it was no longer dry. So now it's one of the longest spanned walking bridges, and I think it is the longest bridge across the Tennessee River walking wise. And then that moved over to North Chattanooga, which was all dilapidated. Well, now they started taking that and fixing it up. Now it's a thriving place. This MRA, this Metropolitan Redistricting Area, with the railroad, we're wanting to redevelop that and take that portion of Roswell and bring it up to a greater standard for people to enjoy. But in order to do that, we can't, the modern parking requirements, the modern, what do you call it, with bushes and trees and stuff.
The whole landscaping.
All that stuff that we have requirements that we really do want in front of the Walmart, in front of the gas stations, whatever they may be, or the real estate agent's office. all those things. Well, when you're in that area, that place wasn't built for 72 parking spaces.
Sure, it's a little more urbanized there, a little
sort
more
of like
building.
our downtown.
Yeah.
To get into your building, I park parallel against the street here. So we're moving those kind of downtown Main Street parking requirements into the MRA as well.
Okay.
That as people are looking at these businesses, these buildings and stuff, will say, you know what, I can make a business work with these criteria.
Sure.
And so that's going to, and there again, a boring subject to deal with,
Sure.
but it's going to make a significant difference in what you see happening.
And
in
I would
downtown.
also think that's going to trickle over to the rest of Main Street as well, where they end up going there,
That's
parking
right.
as a hub, maybe have a drink or two or whatever, and then start walking down Main Street and hitting shops and seeing other venues and activities
Yes,
that are
sir.
happening out here. So that's a good thing.
So we've got those items tonight, and really everything else. A lot of the things are going to be, just like you said, taking care of house cleaning. We've got a 14-inch water line to deal with, and some other areas. Just a lot of fun things. There is one addendum that has been placed on the council that may get a little bit of eyebrow turning. We'll see what happens, but.
Okay.
The old slide from from Peppermint Park,
The rocket slide?
the
or-
rocket slide.
Yeah.
For a number of years, there's been some folks that have wanted to see that turned into a piece of art, and that's come to fruition. They've got a model for everyone to look at, and the council this evening will be determining whether or not we put money towards getting that put together.
There's a
in
lot of
place.
sentimental value with that
It
slide.
does,
slide.
and I'm really sort of caught between the two, if you would, with it, because I recognize that it has some sentimental value to everyone. We can't save everything.
Sure.
But
But at the end of the day, it is just a slide.
it is. But, I understand that. And is it something that really goes with the motif or whatever
Sure.
you would say, Ross? Well, sure it is. Nobody can deny that.
I think it's a locals iconic.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, and it's almost a badge of honor for some, because most people say, I remember as a kid sliding that thing and burning my legs and everything else. It's almost a badge of honor for Roswell, I think.
How did we survive as kids? How did we? We had that thing that went round.
Oh, yeah, the
and around.
merry-go-round deal, yeah.
And it wasn't on grass; it was on asphalt,
rocks or whatever. Yeah,
that's what it's going to look like if it's done. So it's got it really is going to.
That's pretty snazzy.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
neat. But the council has to make some decisions tonight as to whether to spend that money and where to put it, those kind of things. So that may be something that may be the most exciting thing to talk.
Sure.
I don't know. Everything else is.
And obviously the debate's going to be there, because I think at the end of the day, everyone likes the idea of having it, but is that money well spent right now for that? And that's going to be the debate.
So that'll be a determination tonight. But and then tonight will be a time that for us to thank Mayor Kintai and to thank Councilor Kennard and Councilor Roebuck, Councilor Stubbs, and Councilor Lopez for being willing to serve us. And
I just had an image like at the end of the meeting, they're going to look and just like, your job now, suckers, we're out. Just kidding.
But we've got new faces that are coming in with new ideas, and I think that we owe it to the citizens of Roswell to give that a good try, and let's just see what we can do.
We
to
all
make Roswell what we
live
need
in the
to be.
same patch of dirt here. We all want the best for it. Let's all work together to make that happen instead of working against each other.
Absolutely.
That's the key here. Don't forget, city council meetings are open to the public and are encouraged for you to come out and visit. Now that we're stepping away from COVID, you can go back and be in person for the meetings again. That's 6 p.m. at the Roswell Convention Civic Center. They have the special chambers there. Be there a few minutes before if you would like to speak during the meeting. Sign
up before.
Sign up before, or if you'd like. And you don't feel comfortable, or you got kids and dinner and 100 other things going on
Watch
this
it
time,
online.
you can watch it online. Go to roswell-nm.gov, and usually it's like one of the first things when
You'll
little
find
scroll
it.
at the top.
It's not hard at all. I'm not computer savvy, and I can
And
find
Jason's
it.
nailing through it. And then, by the way, if you would like to speak, there's also another link there through GoToMeeting, and you submit through there, and then at the appropriate time, Mayor Kentai will give you the floor to speak. But I highly recommend if you're one of those folks and you're talking about city and this, and you're like, I want to see, participate in the meetings. That's this is where the action happens. Is Thursday nights here, the second Thursday every month, and so come be in the audience, come listen, come see how the sausage is made, and then I think you're gonna have a clearer understanding at how hard and how great the work is that our city councils, whether you agree with them or disagree with them, you can appreciate the levity of that job when you see it in action. So
absolutely. And tomorrow when we talk, I'll bring up some of the. I've held back some other great things that we'll see coming now that we've got now that the governor has finalized some finances and some money. We'll talk a little bit about what Roswell can see as well coming here in the.
So some good things to talk about,
great
too.
Things to talk about.
Nice change of pace for a thing. I like it. So, Jason, as always, I appreciate your visit with us here today. We'll look for you tomorrow. Now, I got to ask real quick. Mayor had his Mayor burritos from McDonald's. Fridays are McDonald's Friday, so we get him like the little sunrise burrito. That was his jam. Do you have like for tomorrow? Do you have a go-to McDonald's breakfast item?
I don't know that I have a go-to. I'm sort of a sausage McMuffin kind of guy, but I think you can look at me and know that I like food.
So you're not picky. If you need to go a little adventurous or whatever,
I can get a little adventurous really quick. Yes, sir.
But your jam is usually a sausage McMuffin with egg. Okay, hear that, Tanner? So either way, we got you covered. But thank you, sir. Appreciate it, and thank you for your services.
All
always.
right, thank you.
And we'll see you in the morning.
All right, see you then.
All right, don't cause too much trouble between now.
No,
I make no promises. All right, it is 8:54. Let's do your Wall Street business update, quick break, and then we'll come back for about a minute before news. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Ukraine's government has banned the export of wheat, oats, and other staples that are crucial for global food supplies, as authorities try to ensure they can feed people during Russia's intensifying war. New rules on agricultural exports introduced this week also prohibit the export of sugar, live cattle, and meat, and other byproducts from cattle. That's according to a government announcement. Lawmakers are following through on their threat to seek a criminal investigation of Amazon, asking the Justice Department to investigate whether Amazon and senior executives obstructed Congress or violated other federal laws in testimony on its competition practices. The House Judiciary Committee escalated the bipartisan battle against the world's biggest online retailer with a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland, referring the case for a criminal inquiry. The U.S. average gasoline price on Wednesday, $4.25 a gallon. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Celebrate spring break at the Spring River Zoo with one of their exciting day camps. Each day is a separate camp where children will enjoy animal-themed crafts and games, fun educational activities, a guided tour of the zoo, and amazing encounters with the animals for children aged 4 through 6. Events will take place March 14th and 15th from 8 a.m. till noon. For children aged 7 to 12, themed camps will take place March 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call the Spring River Zoo at 575-624-6750 or visit roswellconnect.org for information and to reserve your ticket.
When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, one that has a personal investment right here in Southeast New Mexico. Zenith Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer. Zenith can handle all of your business and residential alarms, cameras, and IT services, as well as home theater installations, all from a local company. The Spring Starter Package is now available at Zenith Security Services for your home or business. Call the real Zenith Security Services today, 575-626-3521. Zenith Security Services, protection with a local touch.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing on 8:59. The Fox or Town Hall News. Any hiccups? Sorry about that. Town Hall News about to get on here in just a few minutes. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. I know we're going to have Chef Anthony Noble from Valley Cafe join us. I'm not sure if he's going to have any of the other folks from there join us as well, but he's going to, I hear tell he's bringing burritos. So I'm probably more excited about this interview than you are. Because I'm going to eat burritos from Valley Cafe. But yes, they're going to join us next hour. We'll talk all about it and invite you to come down. I live on the north end, so I don't get to get down there, and it's an excuse, and I'm making a bad one. But I really need to go because every person I know that's gone and ate there, every one of them have told me the food is awesome and delicious, and I'm behind the eight ball on that. So we get to try it next hour. So don't go away. We'll be back.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Ukrainian President Zelensky calls it genocide. Russia's attack on a children's hospital in Mariupol that killed 3 people, including a child.
They want us to feel like animals because they blocked our cities, the biggest cities in Ukraine, and they blocked and because they don't want our people to get some food, water. Yesterday, for example, children. I don't know if you know the children in Mariupol was the child was dead.
The Ukrainians have been pleading for a no-fly zone over Ukraine, but the West declines to go along, fearing that could provoke a wider conflict in Europe. Almost $14 billion in aid to Ukraine. That's part of a $1.5 trillion short-term government spending bill approved by the House. The Senate will take up the bill tomorrow. No relief from surging inflation, hitting a 40-year high, according to the Consumer Price Index for February. Consumer prices up 7.9% year over year last month. And what's fueling the ongoing rise in gas prices? White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki blaming Vladimir Putin for at least part of the increase.
75 cents since the beginning of the year as Putin built up his military near Ukraine and took increasingly aggressive measures that were felt in the markets.
But House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy notes that prices at the pump started to rise as soon as Joe Biden took office and immediately scrapped the Keystone XL pipeline project.
Not only did House Republicans warn them this would happen, but we repeatedly offered obvious solutions.
Those solutions, according to McCarthy, build the pipeline, increase domestic energy exploration and production, and fast-track exports to America's allies abroad. Watching Wall Street, the sell-off continues. Dow down 357 points, the Nasdaq off 274. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm cute kid number 1. And I'm cute kid number 2. And we have been forced, you mean hired? We have been hired to tell you what direct lender FOMO is. So let's say you buy a new home, and maybe you use one of those big mortgage monsters.
Or someone your realtor or friend recommends.
And then a few months later,
You hear us being forced,
hired
to tell you about our mortgage team's Direct Lender Advantage.
And then you feel like you missed out.
Because you probably did miss out.
And that is direct lender FOMO.
It's Ryan, and our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions within its own walls. There's no middleman. This often allows us to get you a better rate on that new home mortgage, saving you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Line bracket NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A risk management firm offering its take on the local government response to the George Floyd protests in Minneapolis.
The report released by Hilliard Heights praised Minneapolis' emergency operations plan, but paints a picture of miscommunication and a lack of planning from the mayor's office that left city fire, police, and other agencies with limited guidance as they responded to protests following the police killing of George Floyd in May of 2020. In a statement, Mayor Jacob Frey says he's asked city staff to create a plan to implement roughly 24 recommendations. Suggested changes include improvement in communications among city employees, more police training on crowd control tactics, and an upgrade to employees' wellness programs. I'm Jennifer King.
Mixed signals from Iran on its tattered nuclear deal. The country's president defending the negotiations, while the top security official blames the U.S. for a deadlock in talks on reinstating the deal. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Major League season continues to shrink.
Major League Baseball has chopped off another week of the upcoming season with the lockout in its 98th day. The decision means the season won't begin until April 14th at the earliest and comes after differences narrowed on the three most contentious economic items under discussion. Management Wednesday gave the union a new option that would allow an agreement to be cut short after the 2024 season. MLB continues to press for its long-held goal of an international amateur draft. Players have repeatedly rejected that proposal since it was made on July 28th. I'm Dave Ferry.
The growth of Israel's West Bank settler population accelerated last year, according to figures from a pro-settler group. The population growth comes despite renewed American pressure to rein in construction on occupied territory that the Palestinians want for a future state. And once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow down 382 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number and I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Someone might say, is there a pep in your voice right now? It might be.
Seems like there might be, yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, it's Chef Anthony Noble's fault.
Did he,
That man brought in some burritos and some cordon bleu soup, and we're gonna try it.
Did he do that on purpose? Did he walk in, put the food right here next to both of us, and then walk out there?
It's a bold move.
Forcing us to wait. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
But, yeah, so Chef Anthony Noble's here. We're gonna, from the Valley Cafe. We're going to chit-chat with him this hour and talk about food, which makes me happy inside.
Somehow I'll find the time to make my way back in here.
I would say you might be wanting to be a part of this conversation while you're in between your drops.
So I have another station I have to run, but I feel like I can make time today.
Today you'll dig deep.
That's right.
See if you can.
I'll harness that power somehow.
For the masses.
Of course.
For the masses.
It's for them.
Yes.
This is clearly for them.
We're sacrificing for you.
It's that line in, and this is literally from a Goofy movie. I think it's Pauly Shore. He goes, "Don't give me that attitude, bro. I'm doing this all for you."
Right? I'm not the hero you want. I'm the hero you need.
That's right. Here to take it on the chin for America.
America.
It's Mornings with Mike Winters right there.
There it is.
Sums it up.
That's pretty much it right there. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. And hopefully we will tantalize your taste buds and want to go maybe have some Valley Cafe for lunch today.
Absolutely. Just a daily reminder, by the way, the time change this weekend.
This Saturday, we spring forward an hour.
Right. Sunday, technically, Sunday like at 2 a.m.
I think it's like 2 a.m. Yeah, they do.
But if you want to avoid losing the hour of sleep, just do it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Just figure out. Don't set any kind of important appointments.
Yeah. So if you have any engagements, make sure you you adjust accordingly for that.
But if you're if you're not, just spring an hour forward in your own mind.
In my head, I do it Saturday night. Like what I usually do is Saturday night when I'm settled and TV's on, then I move it an hour ahead or back, and then I just for the rest of the night in my head it's 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that just makes things it makes things easier on my head to kind of get around the whole time change.
And then I remember the next day when I forget to set say the car clock,
right,
or the microwave clock, one of those you forget to set.
I'll tell you this: there's I used to do graveyards way back in the day, and I know you did too. There's 2 days that are both the worst day and the best day working graveyards. Worst day is when you have to fall back and do that whole hour over again. But you get that out, you get that spring forward. It's the best day of the year for graveyard workers.
Yeah,
just jump a whole hour.
Of course, I was fortunate. I was in the military when I did my graveyards, so unless we were blowing stuff up or whatever, I wasn't working that weekend a lot. It was
true.
Unless we were deployed or exercising, but if it was just the regular day, I'd go in at midnight, get out at 8. Monday through Friday. Actually, Sunday night through Friday. So I get in it, and on Sundays I lucked out because we had 2 crews that worked overnights. So we flip flopped each crew. So so one crew would come in at midnight, sit there until 8, and do whatever they got to do. The other crew would sleep until 4.
Okay.
And then come in and work 4 to 8, and then go home. And then they reversed it to the next week. So half the time that Sunday, I'd only work a half day.
Right.
But the beauty of it was Friday morning, because I get off work at Friday 8 a.m. and I'm off all day Friday, Saturday, and then back Sunday night.
Yeah. But you a good chunk of that weekend.
I do.
We did things a little different. Go ahead.
But the problem was my sleep schedule's full.
Oh, absolutely.
Because all my friends are day walkers. So I'd be up all day and then sleep. So my sleep schedule. I'm not gonna lie. When I got out of the Air Force, it took a good 6 months before I got a decent regular night's sleep.
Yeah.
Because it just took forever to get me adjusted. I couldn't fall asleep till 3, 4 in the morning.
That makes sense.
I couldn't. I just. I couldn't. Yeah. It took a while to get me adjusted to normal sleeping hours.
Yeah, your body was set to a specific schedule.
Yeah.
One thing we did, because we always had, you had to have 2 people overnights when you're working, convenience store. So what we would do is we would do tag team 45-minute breaks. I can say this now because I'm far enough removed from the employment that I can admit to this. We would just do tag team 45-minute breaks. One of us would work the counter, the other one would go stock the walk-in, and usually it was like take a nap, have a snack, take a nap. There's a lot of napping involved. This is actually pre-smartphone days, so there's a lot of napping involved.
Gotcha.
Or playing Snake on your Nokia.
That's something I never thought about, but I kind of wish I had dumb phones again.
There's there's occasions.
I've lost a lot of hours of uselessness.
You know what I miss is
to that, where I could have been reading a book or something more fulfilling.
Part of what I miss about that is the excitement of the newness of it. Like, I remember when polyphonic ringtones became a thing.
That sounds an important word, polyphonic.
It was totally important. What it was remember, it was all of a sudden you weren't just getting 8-bit tones of a song, you were getting actual snippets of a song. Remember, it was like when that golden age of like a year and a half when everybody's ringtone was like just a quick snippet of a song. You're like, oh, how did you get that? And you had to like text 979 spend like $1.99, then you get the Crazy Frog sound. That was a big deal back in the day.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
You know what? And then we need to wrap this up, but I'm not a fan of using music as my ringtone.
No?
And here's why. When I did it, I ended up hating the song after a while.
Fair enough.
What I mean by like I would pick songs I liked.
Right.
But then I hear that song and it reminds me, I got a phone call. I don't want to take it, So and so then I started hearing that song on the radio and it started getting me like, I started getting negative thoughts because of my phone. So I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm going back to ducks or bird chirps or whatever.
I had the exact same thing happen to me with an alarm. Because I set a song as an alarm And it would the song specifically, like the lyrics in the song are like very like inspirational. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up to this. It's gonna get you started on the right day. What ends up happening is in about 2 weeks, you're like, no, screw you. I'm gonna stay asleep. You go be the best ever. I'm just gonna be staring at the back of my eyelids. And you hate the song.
Yeah, I know. And that kind of happened to me for a couple of songs. And I was like, you know what? I'm not like, there was Aerials. The System of a Down Aerials. I like that song, but I put it as my ringtone. Now I hear it. I'm like, Argh!
It put a lot of undue pressure on my shoulders when the song that I was waking up to every morning was called Resurrection of Perfection.
It's a little, pardon the pun. It's a little, pardon the pun, on the nose.
On the nose.
All right, it is 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Like I said, Chef Anthony Noble from the Valley Cafe going to join us here in just a few minutes. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today, but we've got some snow on the way by Friday and Friday night with a low-pressure system drifting in from the northern Rockies. Looks like mid-60s to around 70 and sunny today, a little bit gusty. Windy for the overnight hours and turning cold. Will be in the upper 20s, and then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow, tapering off in the afternoon and about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, right at freezing, 32 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds, a little breezy out of the north at 18 miles per hour. Today, during the day, temps not too bad. Sunny skies. Expect highs mid-60s, 66 for a high today. Winds will be a little breezy out of the north, 10 to 15, later shifting to the south this afternoon. Tonight is when it all begins, mostly after you go to bed, though. You will see increasing clouds and getting colder and windier, but they are saying there's a 20% chance of some snow showers. That's going to be late overnight hours, like 2, 3 in the morning. But with the increasing clouds, overnight low at 25, and they're saying we're looking at a 20% total. Wind gusts could be up, though. They're going to be southwest winds 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. And then Friday morning, when you wake up tomorrow morning, there might be seeing a little bit of snow. Probably not a whole lot, though. We do have a 60% chance of some more snow showers tomorrow morning, up to about 11 or so. But they're saying less than an inch total. So I don't think we're going to see. I know parts north and up in mountainous areas, they're talking 8, 10, even double-digit numbers there. But for us, maybe an inch. We're right on the cusp of the snow there at the south end. But anyway, and then, of course, the high tomorrow is only 41. So it's going to be cloudy in the morning, getting a little sunnier as the day, but high of only 41 on Friday. And then Friday night, clear skies, overnight low of 18. Another chilly one with northeast winds 5 to 10. And then we're warming up for the weekend. Sunny and 63 on Saturday with south winds 5 to 15. We'll be in the 70s on Sunday, sunny and 73, and then it keeps getting warmer next week. We're going to be 70 on Monday, 77 on Tuesday, 82 by Wednesday of next week. So little cold spell, and then back to spring, almost summer-like temperatures next week. So there we go. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 2-minute commercial break, and then we're going to talk with Chef Anthony Noble on the other side here from the Valley Cafe, and we're going to eat food. Just talk all about food with Anthony. That's coming up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Have you been dealing with stress or anxiety lately? Don't let that stop you from getting the dental work done that you know needs to happen. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and every day we help people just like you have a relaxing and pain-free experience with IV sedation. Just imagine a dental experience where you don't remember the needles or the drills. If that's what you're looking for, we can help. Let us ease your stress and create the best dental experience ever.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main, or call 622-4455.
The crowning achievement of King Solomon's reign was the construction of his temple in Jerusalem. When building the temple, Solomon spared no expense, from vast quantities of cedar wood to the choicest stone that was quarried somewhere else. At the time of the building of the temple, the Bible says the people were sacrificing at the high places because no house had been built for the name of the Lord. The temple then becomes significant to Israel because it brings together the people of God and is a place where they can invite the presence of God. In today's world, God still desires to locate where his people congregate. Matthew 18 reads that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Christians today still need a place to celebrate the mighty acts of God. Please join us this Sunday as we delve into God's Word and spur one another on to love and good works.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Roswell Medical Clinic is pleased to welcome Tanya Montoya as the newest member of the family. Tanya's expertise includes functional medicine and wellness and women's health. Tanya seeks to truly partner with her patients on their health journey to provide cutting-edge ideas to not only treat chronic diseases but reverse them. Roswell Medical Clinic is committed to listening and helping each patient become the best version of themselves. Your total wellness is our goal. Call Roswell Medical Clinic at 575-623-3311 or stop by 111 West Hobbs Street. Roswell Medical Clinic, providers that listen.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Valley Cafe, Chef Anthony Noble back with us. Morning, Chef.
Morning. How's it going?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good.
First off, thank you for bringing food. That was awesome. You brought some of your breakfast burritos, and I've been talking about the cordon bleu soup. I'm a big cordon bleu fan. I love chicken cordon bleu. I mean, I love the product of the cordon bleu schools. We put out some good chefs. But I mean, as far as when people think of chicken cordon bleu, and I love that. If I'm not eating seafood, I love that one. So to have, you guys have a soup, which I've been anxious to try. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that in to try here. So I know we talked before when you guys first opened up and everything here. So I got to ask, so you've been open, about a month, 2 months now?
We're going on 3 months.
3 months now.
Next week.
Yeah, time is flying.
Yeah.
How's the first 3 months of business been for you?
Going great. Slowly getting busier. Word of mouth's getting out. Everyone's hearing about us. So lunches are starting to be real big. We're trying to draw a bigger breakfast crowd.
Good deal. Which, by the way, you guys serve breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And it's great. It works out perfect. Like if you're at that end of town on your way to work, you want to come through, grab a cup of coffee and a burrito. If you get in and out because you got to get to work, no problem. Or if you got a little time, want to sit down and enjoy it, no problem.
Yeah.
But then come by for lunch, and then like kids when they get out of school. You guys are open for a little bit after that. If they want to come by, maybe get some poppers or a snack, some, maybe a bowl of soup or burrito, whatever. They can get that done too. And you're at a great place there because it's right there at Church on the Move. It's the 180 Youth Building, right?
Yeah, it's right across the street, the orange and black building.
Right there on the campus of the Church on the Move property. Can't miss it. So. And what time do you guys open up in the morning?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. So on your way to work or whatever, swing by, and you're up until 2?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Yeah. 3 p.m. During the week.
And we also DoorDash if you find yourself stuck at work.
Excellent. And they'll bring it right to you, or if you're like me, that's what I keep. I live at the north end, so I'm not down at the south end, and then by the time I think about it, it's too late. So I need to do the DoorDash thing, but we figured it out. I got to get a colonoscopy sometime next week. I'll find out today. And so my after surgery meal will be a trip to the Valley Cafe. That's going to be my.
We'll expect you.
I know you're a young man, so you haven't worried about the colonoscopies yet. But when you get to that part, they make you starve you for a day, and then after the surgery, you're usually pretty hungry, and they tell you go eat what you want, eat your favorite thing or whatever. So we'll come by the Valley Cafe.
All right.
That'll be my plan there. So if you see a guy walking slow, just kidding.
Sounds good.
So let's talk menu here. I know we talked a little bit about it before, but for people that are just learning about it here, you got a breakfast burritos, things like that in the morning, but you do burgers, soup, sandwiches. You got a gamut of food offerings.
We do salads as well. We have a turkey sandwich, we have a ham sandwich, we also have a chicken, and then we have a couple different types of burgers that you can't really find in town. I make my own barbecue sauce. It's a honey jalapeno bacon barbecue.
Nice.
And that goes on a sweet and spicy. It has a onion ring, jalapeno poppers, the barbecue sauce, and then pepper jack.
Nice.
We also do fried avocado burgers.
Ooh.
So those are very popular.
So you can get the fried avocados by themselves, but if you want to add them to as a burger, I imagine that burger's pretty tall.
Yeah, they're all pretty tall. And then, of course, we have just the regular plain burger, and then you can kind of build it yourself.
Sure, build your own if you get your own toppings and things, or just let Chef here just kind of pick what he thinks would be a good pairing here. I'm kind of curious, when you come up with like your own sauces and things like that, Is it a lot of trial and error? I mean, how long do you take before you're like that? Like, because I imagine you get close and you add this, like that's pretty good. But I mean, how long does that process take till you're finally like, that's the final product? That's how I make the sauce.
It depends on if you're good at knowing your spices and stuff. You kind of know how those flavors taste. So if you make it once and you're like, wow, that's too sweet, too salty, you can cut back what you need.
Gotcha.
And add what you want. So maybe 2 or 3 tries if you're good enough, you can get it done.
I imagine that's really any time when we're talking chefs and being a chef. You know, we talk about food, and a lot of us cook home and whatever. And like, yeah, I'm all right at cooking thing, but that's really what separates a chef from just a home cook. Is that really you have to be almost like a flavor. You have to have like a flavor encyclopedia. You got to know how foods taste like. You got to and have an understanding of what when you apply heat to it, or when you apply ice to it, or when you apply. You got to know what that food's going to do when those things happen. And so that's really the science side. I mean, between chef cooking and just, you know, making dinner for your kids at home or something. You really, and like when you get to that level, when you watch like Chef Gordon Ramsay and those guys on TV that do the big 4-star and Michelin restaurants and all that kind of stuff, that's the devil's in the details there, because those people are like, well, you know, not only do they know common ingredients, but even more exotic ones, and know how those work and how they pair. And a lot of us can have fun just trying it and see what works and see what doesn't work, but sometimes you don't get that luxury at that level of cooking and things.
Right.
So I'm just curious, you know, how much of it's science versus how much of it's just winging it and see what comes out of it.
Well, it's kind of both. I would say about equal.
Okay.
So you got to know when to simmer stuff, and you can't just have a full flame and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then a lot of it's you wing it, and then you're like, wow, that tastes good. I'm gonna do that. You know?
I would imagine, because I'm one of those ones that I like cooking. I'm not necessarily great at cooking. I don't miss meals. You know what I mean? But but I understand the talent that requires, and the patience. Like I've learned that I think you almost have to be more patient to be a good chef. And what I mean by that is just for the very thing you just said there with the heat. Like most people like want to crank it up on high and you get it cooked, and like, well, you once you're gonna burn the outside and the ice inside gonna be free. You know?
Exactly.
But you know that you almost have to burn a bunch of stuff to figure it out. Where as a chef, you have to have that patience, because you're ready for it to be ready now, but you're like, look, if I pull this sauce off right now, it's going to totally curdle it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, especially when you get in some of the more difficult sauce holidays, for instance, which you probably deal with a lot, you know, when some of your fairs and things. To make homemade holiday sauce, it's a lot of timing and a lot of flipping and folding it just right, and really a little not stirring it right, or not having the heat at the right levels.
Slowly add the butter to that stuff.
Yeah, it turns that holiday sauce from great to
it'll just break. Yeah, the oil separate, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah,
after that,
and that's where being a chef comes in, is knowing, you know. Rest of us just buy the McCormick pack at the store and add milk or whatever.
Add milk and salt, and you're good to go.
But in reality, that's to make it to that area. That's where the chef comes in. So obviously that's what we want to also, you know, you're doing homemade ingredients and everything, you know, fresh made, you know, food items, things like that. That's something that I think's great, and we're starting to see more and more of in restaurants and things now, where we have the fast food world where everything's trying to get it to you quick, and you're kind of in that world, but it's like, yeah, we obviously don't want people waiting hours for food, but at the same time, people are ready to appreciate the fact that it takes to get real food, good food. You know, it takes time to make that and to make it right, and there is a difference in the taste between something fast food, just burgers. I mean, take any fast food burger and then take one of your homemade burgers. I don't care which one it is, and pound for pound, that thing's going to be 10 times tastier because of the time, the effort, the attention to detail that gets put into that crafted sandwich. You know, that's the difference between eating and and dining.
Right.
So I got to ask, what's your go-to? Like, if you could have one dish on your menu and eat that for, like, say, a week and nothing else, what would that be for you?
Well, my wife, we actually just updated the menu, and we added 2 things to it because they got so popular online. Okay. And my wife came up with 2 things, but one of them was the jamwich.
Okay.
And she makes her own jalapeno pineapple jam.
Oh, interesting.
So on this sandwich, it's ham, and then it's grilled onions, grilled jalapenos, bacon, and Swiss, and then we use the jalapeno jam as the spread.
Nice.
Like the mayo. And
that's kind of like almost like a grilled cheese on steroids a
basically.
little bit. That's kind of the feeling. You get the sweet, the heat meat, obviously.
Yeah. And we're doing that online and on DoorDash only, and it blew up so big that we just threw it on.
Now it's part of the regular menu.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have like DoorDash exclusive sandwiches, or is it a full menu on all?
There's a couple on there. I think we do a green chili patty melt's one of them.
Okay.
And couldn't tell you the other one.
Okay.
We might have actually added that one to the menu.
Really, then the onus on us here is come in and dine in. But give that DoorDash a try and try some of those exclusive DoorDash or online only offerings there. And again, like you said, if they get popular enough, then you're going to force Anthony here to put them on the regular menu. Like
exactly, depending on the prep time.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, but that's a real thing. I mean, most of us thinking, oh, I just want to put tasty food on, but you know, there's more to that in running a restaurant. You're looking at every plate, what that plate cost you to make versus what you can sell it legitimately here and get a fair value for it and things like that. So you look at things like, sure, I'd love to do a Wagyu beef thing, but who's going to pay $40 for it or whatever? You know what I mean? So you have to kind of see where people, you know, what you're willing to pay and what, because I imagine there's times you probably want to get a little exotic with some different, you know, meats and things, but it just depends on what you know, you like it and other people like it, but will it catch on enough to it's something that you can keep?
And prices are fluctuating so much right now.
I would imagine that. How much of that, I've got it, just curiosity with you running a business here, how much of that's, I mean, for you learning on the fly versus, you know, that side of it, because I'm thinking if someone's new to the restaurant business, this last 3 years of COVID is probably the most god-awful time to try to start a restaurant. You know what I mean? Just because supply, demand, employment, all those issues there, but you pull it off, obviously. And so I'm kind of curious, was there a learning curve there on trying to finagle, you know, what's tried and true before COVID isn't today and creating a restaurant from the ground up through that? Man, that was an added wrinkle that some restaurants haven't had to deal with. You know?
Right. Well, luckily, I learned a lot at Cattle Brand when I was there.
Okay.
So I learned what to order, what to look for as far as looking at the catalog on the order guide and stuff.
Sure.
So you can find different stuff that is either cheaper, but you don't want to go too cheap where the quality is affected. So, and then if prices bump up, you just got to kind of work with it. You know? And then
did that impact what you wanted to offer sometimes? Like where there's dishes that you were saying, I'd really love to do this, but supply and demand just really limited you on your ability to offer that?
Not yet, because luckily we don't deal with steaks and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Those have gone way up, or brisket.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Brisket used to be very cheap. Now it's top dollar to even get a couple pounds of that stuff.
Yeah, anybody notice if you tried to buy a half pound of biscuit or from a barbecue vendor or something, notice why it's very expensive.
And there's a reason too, but
Well, and that's something, and I think a lot of people don't realize that side of it, and hopefully are realizing it now, is, you know, you guys are trying to keep your prices fair and everything, but at the same time, you've got a bottom line to meet here, and the cost of beef is, you know, 10 to 20 times higher than it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. That's a problem for you guys in the numbers, and that's where I'm sure that experience, like I said, with Cattle Baron, it's kind of meeting those numbers, but I'm guessing when you got here, you're like, man, I had to really
focus.
Yeah, because I imagine there's just certain items that are just even, and there's still common things that you need every day that still, you know, like, you know, milk, eggs, things like that. I'm sure sometimes that got a little pricey and weird on, you know, getting those things.
Right. Not only pricey, some stuff is just out of stock, and I actually have to make a trip to Sam's Club or something to go get stuff we need for the next day.
Try to go and go through other means to get those products. So very, but I'm fascinated by that kind of thing. But the whole point is I want to get people to see that you're busting your hump and providing a delicious meal for folks. Come check it out. Come give it a try. Come bring your family in. Come. It's a family-friendly, fun. You know, it's Church on the Move. It's all about love and God, and so and delicious eats. So I got to ask. I'm going to go back again. You're talking about the jelly, the jam thing, but you know, what's probably the biggest ticket item that most people ask for? What's kind of the most popular item you think on your menu?
Well, I pulled a product mix the other day to kind of look from last month, and the sweet and spicy we sold 137.
Okay,
which is a burger, and then compared to the fried avocado burger we sold 139, and those are just right there.
So but either way, they're all kind of a sweet heat mode. So people seem to want that more in their burgers, at least around here. You know? Interesting. So I'm kind of curious, is there any concoctions in the future, any other things you're experimenting with, or any, I don't know if it's a new burger or a new dish or something that you're kind of like, I'm thinking about maybe making this as a menu item. I know you don't want to give out too much, but is there any certain ones you're kind of like, I want to play with that area?
Not as far as making it a menu item yet, but we do features at least once a week. We try to.
Okay.
We're about to add red chili to the menu because we have smothered green chili, but we're going to add red chili. It's been very, very requested by a lot of people.
Sure.
But I was thinking about doing a garlic Parmesan burger. I won't go into detail about that, but that should be coming up soon.
I kind of like where you're going with that.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And
very good.
There's the sky's the limit. We can come up, me and my wife, we can come up with a lot of different stuff.
Good deal.
Either on the fly or even...
And of course, the great thing about it, like you said, you offer sandwiches, soups, things. So if you're kind of, trying to be health conscious on some things, you guys have great fares that are, your lower carb, lower things for folks that are trying to do that. And then you got, and then if you want to indulge, which that's me, then you get to try, some of the more fried avocado burgers and some of the things that probably your doctor will get you a little mad at, but everyone else wants to love and have. But that's the beauty of food. Is to take these things and create and see what you can do and push envelopes. And were you like that as a kid? Like, were you one of those ones in the kitchen as a kid making weird sandwiches and things because that's what was lying around in the house? Like,
not really.
My brother was one of those people. Like, he'd just make a sandwich and part of it because we were poor and stuff. But, like he'd go to get a sandwich and he'd be in the house like, okay, there's bologna, I'll take that. There's some mustard. And like, he'll literally make a sandwich. It's got peanut butter, jelly, it's just whatever condiments
just to check
are in
it out, huh?
And sometimes they weren't half bad.
Right.
Sometimes you want to chuck them out the window.
Right.
But I didn't know if you had that as a kid as a bug. You always want to make stuff.
Not really. I just once I started at Caliburn when I was 15, and then I just kind of grew to
fell in love there.
Kind of grew to like it. Yeah.
Good deal. So, is there a not one on your menu or anything? Is there like a dish that you've been trying to make or prepare that you just been trying to get right for years that you can't get right? What I mean? Is there like a one of those menus you're just like, I wish I could figure out how to get that perfect that you've been trying to get and can't and haven't done yet?
Not necessarily. I mean, everything that I've ever tried, it either take a couple tries to get it, or and then it kind of worked out. So I don't know if I'm just blessed in that area or God gave me a great gift. So.
Sure. What do you have a favorite type of cuisine or favorite? Is it burgers and stuff, or do you like to venture into Mexican or Italian or some of the other?
I like burgers. I can make a pretty good chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
But I mean, everyone loves Mexican food too. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, you can't grow up in New Mexico or in Roswell and not have a love for Mexican food.
Absolutely. So I don't have a favorite. No, I just all around here and there.
Okay. Very cool. Through DoorDash, like you said, or what's the hours for? It's 7 to 3 Monday through Friday at the Valley Cafe. And if you're not sure, it's right on the Church on the Move campus there on Brasher. What's the actual address number? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's 901.
901 Brasher, and it's right across the street from the actual church there, the old 180 Youth Building.
Yeah, it's the orange and black building.
Yeah, come on in, pull on up, and anytime between 7 and 2, get for first timer. Let's do breakfast and lunch. First time breakfast, what would you recommend they try the first thing out of your breakfast menu?
We would go with the Breakwich. It's basically just a sausage, bacon, egg, cheese sandwich.
Okay.
But what really kicks it off is I make my own maple Dijon sauce.
Ooh.
And it's really good with it.
Nice. I could see that pairing well. Any sausage tastes great with maple. That's like it's right there with peanut butter and chocolate. You know what I mean? Of those pairings.
Yeah.
I think maple and sausage are one of those that hits that. So I'm
Absolutely.
down. All right, for the lunch fare, what would you recommend as a first time try for the lunch fare?
I would go with the sweet and spicy burger for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. So there, menu set up, and we got you covered here. Of course, he said I'm anxious to try the soup here. Let's do that on the air. Let's do that.
Okay.
I want to try, but you might him in the bag here. I can't wait. I've been holding out here. You don't mind, do you? I don't know if you have a. I didn't know if somebody was like, I don't want you watching eat my food here, but
no, that's fine. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been excited to try this cordon bleu soup here.
I hope it's still hot enough. It should be.
It feels warm. Yeah, it feels warm here. Smells good. I'm kind of getting oh yeah.
Yeah, basically it's, you got your chicken and ham. Yeah. It's a cream-based soup. We had a little Dijon.
Here, I'll try to get it on camera here for those that can kind of see. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle here, but it looks good. It smells good. I'm going to try to get a ham, everything in there. That's really good.
has potatoes. You get that kick of the Dijon, and then the ham, of course.
I love it because it's creamy, and it's rich but not too rich. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you get rich ingredients and it overpowers it. This is that right perfect. Like sometimes like you get something that's so rich that you can only eat a little bit of it. Your stomach's not. This is not. This is like that perfect balance of that. This is really good.
We actually usually sell it. I forgot the croutons, but we usually top it off a little bit of croutons, give it that crunch.
The meat and potatoes is good.
Perfect.
Enough for me. I'm not going to finish on air because that would be rude. But
that's all right.
I'm gonna try those. Man, that's really good.
Yeah, and those burritos are our loaded burritos, bacon, sausage, egg, potato, cheese, and they are always that size.
By the way, I'm gonna bring one. I'm not gonna open it and eat it, but just to give you, this is the burrito size. All right, it's covering my head.
Yeah,
pretty much in the picture here. It is a huge burrito. So if you walk away and you're hungry after this, you have a bottomless pit for a stomach.
Right. I'm almost to the point where we need to start selling 2 salsas for each burrito instead of 1 because I just don't think there's enough salsa for it.
I would imagine you got about 50% of the population can't finish that. Like they get it and they take it home or they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Save it for later just because it's a big burrito. Look, I love that. That looks good. If it's half as good as that soup, it's going to make really good. Man, now I got a problem. Like, do I want to come for breakfast or lunch? And I wonder if you can you do full menu all day?
All day.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So if I come a little later, I could actually get soup and a burrito. Yes. I don't know how I'm going to eat all that, but I'm going to try.
That'll work. Yeah. We have a kid's burrito. It's a little smaller.
Okay, so if you have a small appetite, maybe go with the kids' burrito there too. And of course, but check out the menu for yourself. You do have a Facebook page, right? The Valley Cafe.
Valley Cafe.
Follow and like there. That way you can, whenever there's like maybe a special deal or a new menu item, a limited time menu item. That way you're kind of staying up to date. So when Anthony comes out and says, you know what, I'm going to come out with this burger today, come on by and give it a try. And that way you're in on all of that stuff. So, and that's what I imagine that's kind of the cool part of being at the Valley Cafe too, is you've got your menu and people want certain things, but you being the chef and it's your show, when you decide, you're like, you know what? I always wanted to try, making a pasta dish or something. Mm-hmm. Let's make a pasta dish and see how that, and like you said, like your online and the sandwich you're talking about with the sweet and the jalapeno, the jelly with the ham, the jam, the jamwich, that's what it's called. Right. Yeah, the jamwich. That's a perfect example of that. Like you said, you put it online just to see, and now it got really popular, and now it's a regular part of the menu. Maybe, you get online and stay up to date, and you're like, oh man, he came up with this new pasta or this new whatever sandwich, and that should be a part of the menu. And so that way you can stay up to date on all that. And it sounds like it's a good place where you get to try all that and just kind of their customers dictate what you do on some. I mean, you have your standard fares and everything else, but you go where the customer, when they're requesting, like you said, you're adding red chili to the menu. That's all due to customers wanting that, to hearing that kind of stuff. So now you're at that point where you're getting feedback and are able to tweak your menu to do that. What we haven't talked is desserts.
Oh yeah,
you do desserts too.
Yeah, we have, I think 4. We have cheesecake. We actually order that in. We don't make that one.
Okay.
But we make the brownies.
Okay.
And we make the special one is the orange creamsicle pie.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that one.
Yeah, that's probably a memory in food. You know what I mean?
It's real light and fluffy. It's so good. And then we do a fried ice cream as well.
Can't go wrong with fried ice cream. Mm-mm. What flavor ice cream is it?
Just vanilla. Okay. And we roll it in like a cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a little cinnamon crunch to it. Nice. I saw a commercial. They got a graham cracker cinnamon toast crunch version now. I wonder, or you ever try different, like, when they do offshoots of cereals and try those kind of things? That might be kind of interesting.
Sometimes they're too sweet. But
But graham cracker might not be too bad.
Nah,
I'm not sure.
Might be good.
It might be dangerous getting into chocolate territory, but but that might work. It's kind of more of the same, just a little different taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything we wanted to share? Anything that we wanted to talk about that, or any dishes we want to cover that we just didn't get a chance to cover?
I don't know. I know just last week on DoorDash we got most reliable, most loved restaurant.
Nice. Congratulations.
That was pretty big. So
excellent.
Praise God on that one. So people are. Well, I guess once you open up DoorDash now, you'll see us instead of having to search.
Oh, I got you. You're kind of more of their featured items.
You get perks from that.
That's good. Good for you guys, man. That's great. I got a feeling you guys are. You're turning it up, man. I think I can honestly see the Valley Cafe is going to be a Roswell staple.
Right.
And just there's always certain restaurants in the town, and people always say, "Where do you go to eat?" And the locals like, "Yeah, go to this." I think Valley Cafe is going soon to become one of those regular staples in everybody's list of places to go check out.
We have a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom works with me. She does a great job. And my wife, and then a couple other people are there as well.
Yeah. And it's great to see that. And of course, you're right there by the church. So, especially if you got your church meetings, things, or got business of that in a town, go swing by. Go check it out. Come in, have a breakfast, have a lunch, have a brunch, whatever time you roll in through there, and give it a try. And I guarantee that soup is delightful. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure those burritos I'm going to dig in a little bit are going to be just as tasty.
You got breakfast and lunch there in one burrito.
I know. My wife's going to be jealous. She's going to be like, "What do you want to do for dinner?" I was like, "I'm good.
Yeah,
I've been eating all day."
That's funny.
Anything else we want to mention? Did we get it all?
I think so.
All right.
I'll probably remember after I leave, but I think we covered enough.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. Again, come check out the Valley Cafe. Check it out for breakfast, lunch. They're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they're on Brasher, 901 Brasher, right at Church on the Move. They're in the 180 building, right across the street from the main church facility there on the other side of Brasher. You can't miss it. It's right in front of it there. Follow your nose. That'll get you there.
Basically. And we do have an online menu, too, if you want to do it online.
Order online. Is it valleycafe.com or what's the website?
You can find us on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, you can find it. But if you can remember, toasttab.com/The Valley Cafe.
Okay. And if you don't remember that, find Valley Cafe on Facebook. You'll find a link to order there.
Yeah, there's
that
a
way you
menu.
can order online and then come by, pick it up if you're on the run or need it quick kind of thing.
Yeah,
that
you
way.
can set up future orders as well. So the night before, if you're like, "Hey, I want some soup in the morning."
Oh, nice.
You can order it, and then
I like that
in the
move.
morning.
That's a great move because I need to think. Yeah, that's a great because how many times do you think in the night before you're like, "Oh yeah, I haven't been to Valley Cafe in a while. I'm going to grab." And then your life happens and you forget. And it's like then you remember the rest of that day. "Oh, I was supposed to get Valley Cafe today." Now you can. All right, I want Valley Cafe tomorrow. You go in and say, "Set me up for for some cordon bleu soup and a sweet burger here," and boom, and your fried avocado.
Yeah, then you wake up in the morning, you already paid for it, so you have to go get it.
Yeah, now you got it. Now you remember because you get reminders. Don't forget to get your food.
Right.
That's awesome. So use technology or go the old-fashioned way, whatever it was. Valley Cafe's got you here. Come on by, and I guarantee when you walk out of there, you're going to be happy and just like, man, what a great place. And I think once you go there, you're like, we just found a new place to go get some lunch and breakfast once in a while here. At any point down the road, do you want to start doing dinner, or is that something
we've talked about
it?
We have a long-term goal, so
okay.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. So.
Just curious, just putting you on the spot. What would be one of your signature dinner items if you were going to put a dinner menu?
Oh man, I haven't even thought
something.
about that. We'd probably go steaks or something like that. But as far as the signature, I don't know. Kind of hard to say to be put on the spot like that.
Yeah, I mean, would you want to be more upscaley, or do you want to keep it like in the burger vein? Or do you want
I don't know. Either way, actually, I mean, I like kind of the atmosphere of the burger. It's kind of, you're in there, you can have a really good time.
That's just fun.
But
you can still do fine dining in that same atmosphere. You know what I mean? We live in a world now where you can sit down and eat a higher ticket seafood or steak dinner or something and be in a very, informal, just good family atmosphere setting. It doesn't have to be stodgy and starchy and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go to steakhouse and everyone's like, well, you need a coat, sir, and all that. And you're like, no, I just want steak, man.
Valet parking.
But I think we can do that now. You can go in and get meals of that level, but not have to get all stuffy and dressed up and pay $300 sticker price that they charge for those kind of things too. So
I don't know. I have a great creamy bruschetta sauce that I make, so that'll definitely be on the menu.
Nice.
I like making sauces. So
that's kind of your or thing you enjoy most.
Yeah.
Because really, I think because that can change every dish. Like you can take a dish and like let's just say we'll take beef. You take a hunk of beef, cook it up, and put different sauces and make it into a completely different meal.
Yeah.
It's the same piece of meat with different sauces and everything can be a whole different meal.
Yeah, change the flavor altogether.
Yeah. Absolutely. So one day you want to go creamy, maybe another day you want to do a little more heat or sweet or whatever it is, or more that Asian kind of zing, whatever it is, whatever direction the sauce can take you there. So I could get that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm sure you got to get back in about 20 things to prep here and get. You got a lunch rush coming here.
Yeah.
So
I better get back.
So
It's
I better
just
get
my mom
back.
and wife over there right now. So
Yeah.
all right.
So they're like, tell Anthony to shut his mouth, get over here and work. Thank you very much. Thank you for the
Thank
food.
you for having me.
And I'll see you next week. Next week after my colonoscopy. I'm going to come in. So you see a guy limping in wanting a cheeseburger. That'll be me.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, it is 9:47. We're going to pause for news and your Sean Hannity update, as well as your Chaves County sports and town hall business. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A man accused of killing his girlfriend in Roswell in January of 2020 has now been captured in Mexico and returned to the United States. A statement from RPD says Jorge Ernesto Rico Rivera fled to Mexico with the couple's son after he killed 27-year-old Isela Mauricio Sanchez, whose body was found in a bedroom of her home on East Forest Street. A family member discovered the woman's body after not being able to reach her for a few days. The child was also found and is now safe with family members in Roswell. The Artesia Police Department is now looking for candidates to send to the Summer 2022 Police Academy. If you're looking for a rewarding career in law enforcement, Artesia PD will be testing candidates on Friday at Bulldog Bowl. You can apply online at artesianm.gov. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Democrats, they have now become the party that has compromised world security in the name of New Green Deal-ism. They are now the party that is willing to suck up to the world's most evil, unsavory characters like Vladimir Putin. They're willing to do a deal with the number one state sponsor of terror, Iran. They're willing to send emissaries even to meet that thug dictator in Venezuela known as Maduro because they want his oil rather than produce the energy that we have with the vast resources that we have here at home. That is front and center. This is what American last policies look like.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou is one of you and will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou is like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today, but we've got some snow on the way by Friday and Friday night with a low-pressure system drifting in from the northern Rockies. Looks like mid-60s to around 70 and sunny today, a little bit gusty. Windy for the overnight hours and turning cold. Will be in the upper 20s, and then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow, tapering off in the afternoon and about 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Well, it's the end of the season for the Hagerman Bobcats boys basketball team last night. They made it to the state quarterfinals, but the quarterfinals not played on a neutral court. The Hagerman had to travel to number 2, Pecos. Hagerman was the 7th seed in the Class 2A bracket, and Pecos wins that one 74-43. Hagerman finishes the season at 22-3. Hey, let's talk some baseball. The Southwest Classic, hosted by Goddard High School, takes place today. And in Roswell and Goddard, you've got a couple teams that are struggling a little bit getting out of the gates. The Goddard baseball team will play first this morning against Moriarty. Goddard is 0-4. Moriarty is 1-2. Roswell plays tonight at 7 against Gallup. Roswell is 1-4. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. A Wall Street sell-off following release of the government's Consumer Price Index for February. Key gauge of inflation soared 7.9% year over year last month. That's a 40-year high. The stock market also disappointed about a lack of progress in diplomatic attempts to solve the Ukraine crisis. Slightly more Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week. Jobless claims rose 11,000 to 227,000 for the week ending March 5th. German chemical and healthcare company Bayer is selling its U.S.-based pest control business to a private equity firm for $2.6 billion. The business, headquartered in Cary, North Carolina, had roughly 800 employees as of last year. Wall Street giving back some of yesterday's gains as oil prices rise. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Score a slam dunk during the March Mania savings event at Roswell Honda with a great lineup of vehicles you can't miss. Like a 2018 Kia Optima for just $279 a month, a 2011 Honda Pilot for just $249 a month, or a 2016 Audi A3 for just $219 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a basketball with a test drive, and a Big 5 gift card with purchase. And while you're there, register to win a 54-inch Spalding basketball hoop to be given away March 19th at 1. Score big during the Slam Dunk Savings event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:55. I'm not sure I think everyone else is trying burritos. It got real quiet out here. By the way, that soup, oh my God, it's tasty. Thank you to Anthony for bringing food by. So he brought by 3 of their ginormous burritos. They are huge, which we're splitting up to cut because I don't know if we're going to be able to eat it all in one setting. I'm going to try hard, but I got to do work today. But that soup, man, I had a couple spoonfuls of that before I shared it with the others, and I didn't want to share it. I ain't going to lie. I was kind of like, I'll get your own soup. I'm eating this soup. But I did. Is tasty soup. And I'm a soup guy. I love, I'm not going to lie. My favorite, I hate saying it, but to be fair, my favorite soup of all time is New England clam chowder. I'm a New England clam chowder guy. So I love cream-based soups. That's kind of, I like any soups. I like a lot of soups. But I do tend to percolate a little bit when I see the cream base. Those kind of make me a little happier. So, and of course, the cordon bleu soup is a cream based with the potato and the ham and the seasonings. And it's good stuff. It hit right spots on my palate there. It's pretty good stuff. And those burritos, I'm telling you, I'm about to dive into the burrito after the show here in a few minutes. Nope, this is not shtick. This is not. It's just me telling you. To every single person that's gone and eaten at the Valley Cafe that I know has come out of there saying it was delicious. Every single person. They talk about whatever sandwich they got whatever thing that every single person. So if you're looking for a place to have some lunch or breakfast, swing on by the Valley Cafe. Give it a try. I think you just found a new jam or a new place to add into your regular rotation of restaurants to visit and stuff. They Anthony and his family, they know what they're doing over there. So good stuff. Big thank you to them for that. I love food. Hey, speaking of great food, this Saturday night, United Way of Chavez County is having their big Get Lucky Chavez County fundraising event. It's going to be Saturday night, March 12th, at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center from 6 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Get Lucky Chavez County. It's a St. Patrick's Day themed fun event. Wear your green and get lucky. They're going to have an all things Irish dinner, a cocktail hour, casino-style gaming, and dancing as well. Cost is $50 per person. You can purchase tickets online. It's kind of long, so pay attention here. GetLuckyChavezCounty.brownpapertickets.com. GetLuckyChavezCounty.brownpapertickets.com. www.getluckychavezcounty.brownpapertickets.com. Say that in your head 3 times fast. Maybe you can remember it down. Or if you want to call for more information, 575-622-4150, 575-622-4150. If you don't remember that website or anything, if you go look for Chavez County, United Way of Chavez County on Facebook, you'll find a link to get your tickets and everything. But make plans to attend. All proceeds from Saturday night's event will go to United Way of Chavez County, which United Way of Chavez County helps many of our local nonprofits with funding and anything from the Roswell Refuge to scouting to and I'm just scratching the surface. There's just 2 right off the top of my head. They all benefit from the money from the United Way here. So come and have some fun, put your green on, come out for some Irish dinner and dancing and cocktails, having some fun. Again, tickets are $50. Get your tickets at getluckychavezcounty.brownpapertickets.com or call 575-622-4150. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful one. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hugh Hewitt is now